Columbus, this is Sportsvisions 92.1. You are listening to the Sportsvisions Morning Show, brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. Here's DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Good Friday morning and welcome everybody to another edition of the Sportsvisions Morning Show. I am Walter and Betty Jones's baby boy, Daryl DJ Jones. Of course, he's the girl dad. He is the father of Lindley and, of course, Morgan. He's Richard Holdridge. Good morning. How you doing, man?
Good morning, DJ. It's Friday. I'm excited, and I know that I'm looking forward to a great weekend.
Well, it's in first gear, but it's quickly about to be shifted into second gear because you'll be on the road after the show, headed down south.
Absolutely. I'll be heading to Macon, as I will be on the call on GIAA.TV for the quarterfinals, as our team over there at GIAA.TV is broadcasting 32 games, including Thrift.
Absolutely. And, of course, we'll check in with Thrift hopefully a little bit later in the show. He's already down there. He left yesterday, headed down to Macon. And, of course, we look forward to, of course, hearing from him. But first and foremost, let me just do this. Let me say good morning and hello to everybody out there in Facebook land. We appreciate the fact that you allow us to help you get your day started. Also, you folks out there on YouTube, we want to let you know that we are so glad that you are parked right here on the Sportsvisions Morning Show. And hopefully, again, we're already at the end of the week. It shouldn't take a whole lot to get you excited because, again, for the most part, everybody else has the weekend off after today. But go ahead and finish the week strong because, again, there's no reason to, again, start the way you started on Monday and to end anything less than how you started. Richie, I know with regards to what you have on slate and with regards to everything that's going on, you got to be excited about those 32 games. And how many of those 32 games actually will you and Thrift be a part of?
So I will be on the call for 6 of them. I'm actually going to be at FPD today, starting at 3:30.
So what does FPD mean?
First Presbyterian Day.
Okay.
That's the GIAA school in Macon. And looking at the schedule, Thrift is actually going to be in several places. He got there late last night just because he's going to be on the call at 12 because it's all the classifications of the GIAA. He's going to be at Tatnall, and then he is going to swing over to Stratford. And he's kind of got a pretty decent schedule where he's just bouncing around from place to place. I'm actually staying put at FPD for 4 games, and then tomorrow I will be at Tatnall for that 12 o'clock and 1:30 game, and then I got to head back because I got a daddy-daughter dance with my youngest at Glenwood, so that starts at 6, so I need to make sure that I'm out of there maybe by 3:30. Got time to change.
All right, nice.
And then head over to Glenwood for the daddy-daughter dance.
Let's go ahead and do this. And, of course, for all of our friends out there listening on Sportsvisions, that's WLTC, Sportsvisions 92.1, we love you, but it ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Hello, somebody. Richard, let's get this party started. Hey, listen, talking about that daddy-daughter dance, I mean, that means you have to go you have to wear your dress blues or you have to wear your tuxedo? What you got?
No, I usually just wear a nice dress shirt. Most of the dads just wear a nice dress shirt. Some dads kind of, get a suit and stuff. And it's a good time. The girls love it because they get to hang out with their friends. The guys are kind of holding a wall and just eating up on snacks and watching sports scores on their phone. I've been a part of several daddy-daughter dances where there was like a sporting event that was going on, and most of the guys were watching it on their phones. I mean, that's just typical dad stuff. Hey, it's a great time, and I got to be a part of it last year and a couple of years ago. Back like way before COVID, I did part of a daddy-daughter dance, but it was a good time, and I'm looking forward to it.
Richard, I got a question for you, and I don't know how much NBA basketball that you watch, but I know it's a buzz going around, and it's not a big buzz, but it is something that's interesting, and I want to get your opinion on it. This whole thing of tanking came about in the last few years, and again, if you don't know what tanking means, this is one of probably one of your star players. Pretty much for the most part, this is the only significant part about it because it's a star player that decides that he is not feeling up to it to play back-to-back games or a certain game in a series, and he takes the night off. And, to the thoughts of a parent who obviously, has purchased pre-purchased tickets for that game, and whether they're coming into town or whether they're playing at home. But the fact of the matter is that obviously these prices are crazy, and people, don't have a whole lot budgeted to be able to do that. But when they do, and they want to take their kids, this guy, this particular player might decide that, okay, he doesn't feel well, and he wants to save the energy for a little bit later in the season. What's your feeling on tanking?
That these players individually don't have love for the game. I'm being honest. Back when Jordan was playing, they played 82 games. They played hurt. When they got injured, they did everything they could to rehab that injury and to come back. They're shutting players down now. You see with the Dallas Mavericks, they're just shutting down Kyrie Irving. He's not even attempting to try to come back. The Warriors shutting down Jimmy Butler. I know these injuries are a little bit more serious, but yeah, Utah benching Lauri Markkanen and not playing him in a back-to-back. I don't think that tanking is the right answer, and I think that teams should be penalized if they are found tanking, and you got to go back in the video and see some obvious tanking, like players that are deliberately missing shots. I know that it's hard to prove, but I'm not a fan of it. I know that the 97 Spurs were the first team that was known for, I guess you could say, tanking, because they had just horrific injuries that year. David Robinson, Sean Elliott, but they just happened to draft Tim Duncan the next year. I mean, it kind of worked out for him. I'm not a fan of tanking, but I can understand why teams want to go out and get the best player next year. But I thought that, like Herman Edwards said, I thought you play to win the game. Isn't that the mindset it should be? It's in football.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I think that the NBA players just don't have heart. So I'm not trying to get hate mail now. Come on now.
Yeah, well, again, I know it's a new day, and I know that the money is stupendous now, considerably more than it was. And I know that when I say it's a new day, it's a new mindset. It's a new way of course, and again, I'm not saying that I agree with it all, but, and I just hate to say back in the day, back when I played, hell, it was even later than that. I mean, it hadn't been too many years ago, 5-10 years ago, as you mentioned, Michael Jordan, but can you imagine Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, those guys, taking the night off of hell, for that matter, D Wade and Gary Payton, those guys. I mean, these are some names that, you just Steve Kerr, when the list goes on and on and on, but it is definitely a new day. A lot of people say they just chalk it up to business. If a team figures that, and I see this, definitely when a team is out of contention for the playoffs and they want to make sure or try to assure them getting a better selection in the draft to set themselves up for the next time around.
Yeah.
Those are the days. But again, I just, it's kind of been lurking out there, and I've been hearing about it for the last few days. And I know that some teams have been fined because apparently they have been, found that they were actually, doing that and holding guys out. And, again, it's very, very interesting. And as we move forward and the money continues to grow, and I know that these owners and these coaches want to protect their franchise players, especially when they get nicks and bruises, and you don't want to make sure, you want to make sure. But we got the best medical people in America. It's better than it's ever been. The technology is cutting edge, so that there really shouldn't be a reason for this tanking. And again, Rich, I just and that's my 2 cents, and I'm gonna stick with it.
I'm hoping one day that the league will put down some serious consequences if teams continue tanking. Like take away draft picks.
Well, here's the deal. You're right.
Yeah.
Here's the deal, though. When you're talking about $8, $9, $10 billion companies, organizations having fines, they'll get slapped on the wrist for 100,000, 200,000, 500,000. What is that when you are, you're controlling a $7-8 billion business? That's just like you giving
chump change,
flipping a nickel, to the guy on the block.
Yeah, that's very true. That's why they won't start feeling their wallet unless they get first round draft picks taken away from them.
You're absolutely right. All right. Well, what do we do? We'll go ahead and no, actually we won't, Ricky. We'll stay right here because we got a lot to talk about, and especially since we're talking pro basketball. The Atlanta Hawks last night was able to beat up on the Philadelphia 76ers in Philadelphia. Of course, Jalen Johnson, the young superstar, went 32-10-5. C.J. McCollum had 23 points. And I think that the Atlanta Hawks have themselves a pretty good little young team there.
Yeah, just wait till they get their full team back. You talk Jonathan Kuminga, Buddy Hield. I think that this team has got depth. Jalen Johnson is starting to become he's an all-star. He's got the potential to be a superstar. He looks the part for the Atlanta Hawks. I just think he needs a running mate. And right now, the Hawks are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and that's getting right there. They're 4 back of that 6 seed. I know that's the goal, not to get in the play-in game, to get into the playoffs. And I know that if they continue playing this way, they just got to stay consistent. You can't lose to the Washington Wizards at home. I'm sorry, you just can't. You can't lose to the Sacramento Kings at home. You've got to stay consistent and beat the teams that you're supposed to beat.
I may mention this to Thrift yesterday, Richard, and I want to get your opinion. I know that during the All-Star game, and I know that Jalen had an opportunity to play with Anthony Edwards, a native of Atlanta who loves and represents A-Town to the fullest. And those two apparently hit it off. They've known each other, and again, but they had an opportunity to play and run together. And again, Anthony just kind of put it out there that I know he's under contract, and we know that he's one of the big money players, but he kind of put it out there that he would love to go back home. And he made, and that's what the rumblings have been for the last few days anyway. Again, what do you make out of Anthony Edwards having an opportunity to come back home and play with Jalen Johnson and the Atlanta Hawks?
All right, DJ, hang on a second. Let me go ahead and find that song in the database. The one, I'm coming home.
No need. I just want you to.
No, wow. Yeah, I would love for Anthony Edwards to come to Atlanta, but he's still under contract with Minnesota for 3 years. But we have seen athletes that have wanted to come home. And I remember when Dwight Howard, he was way past his prime, but that 1 year in Atlanta, I got excited. Dwight Howard's finally coming home to Atlanta, and it just didn't work out all that great. It was not an upgrade at all because they got rid of Al Horford for Dwight Howard. They did make the playoffs, but I'm not going to say it was a disaster. Dwight Howard bounced around from team to team toward the tail end of his career.
I'm going to just tell you something. I would be embarrassed to even mention Dwight Howard in the same vein.
No,
we're talking about the trade of a possibility. And again, contracts. You mentioned that he's under contract, but you know what these guys, these billionaire owners want to get something done. They'll get it done because again, for an Anthony Edwards, I mean, if they realistically, they could got assets. I mean, you're going to get a multitude of assets for a guy that magnet. You can trade that contract with again, Atlanta. It would be crazy not to take it on because again, it would be instant. That would be just like backing up the Brinks truck. That would be like creating an ATM machine and putting it maybe an ATM machine is not enough money, but that would be instant cash for the Atlanta economy, Atlanta Braves, the Atlanta Falcons, not just the Atlanta Hawks, but Anthony Edwards playing in Atlanta, Georgia at State Farm Arena.
Yeah, like Thrift mentioned yesterday on the show, that would be like Michael Vick-esque. But my big question is, has he expressed that he wanted to be traded? Like, I don't know if that's gotten out
like
yet.
I said, he just put it out there. He just put it out. He knows what he's doing. He's a talker. He's a guy from Atlanta, and the young guys from Atlanta now, they have personalities. They know how to use the English language in ways that we don't even think about. So he could put it out there, or his team. His team could coach him up, meaning his agent, his business managers, his promotional and marketing people. I mean, he's up in Minneapolis, and he has a hell of a contract, and he's got some endorsement opportunities. He's a big Adidas guy. But Atlanta, Georgia, man, you think about all the greatness that could possibly come with an Anthony Edwards added to that roster.
Yeah, and to add this on, he's also an actor. So we have a movie studio down here in Atlanta. So if he wants to continue acting, because he did a fantastic job of the movie Hustle, I think that could be a possibility.
Now you just
do that on the side.
You just put something on us out there now. So now that you said he's an actor, again, give us the Hustle and all the how can we find it? And again,
all right, so the movie is called Hustle. Is by it should be on Netflix. Adam Sandler plays a scout for the Philadelphia 76ers. Now Anthony Edwards' character is the villain. He plays a basketball player, a cocky basketball player named Kermit Stilts, who's trying to get into the phenom Bo Cruz. He's this just incredible player that Adam Sandler discovered while he was overseas in Spain, and they're having like a tryout to try to get into the NBA draft. And Anthony Edwards' character is just getting in his head and stuff. And but he did a fantastic job in the movie. The movie's called Hustle. It's called Adam Sandler, who loves there's a lot of cameos in there. Trey Young's in it. I mean, there's a ton of cameos of the NBA in there.
Well, thank you, Richard. You just definitely enlightened me. Yeah, of course, I'm sure you enlightened and informed the Sports Visions Nation, and we had no idea that Anthony Edwards had an acting.
He does have an acting career.
That's great, man. Hey, listen, let's do this. Let's go ahead and take our break. First break of the day, and let you know that you're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you are listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Catch me at 9 a.m. every weekday morning, right here on Sports Visions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Tiffany Maddox with a look at this morning's headlines. A man that prosecutors described as the shooter for the Crips was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 150 years. 33-year-old Control Rogers was sentenced for the murder of Alex Bales Davis, who was killed in a criminal street gang shooting at the Spiderweb on Buena Vista Road in 2020. Testimony says the shooting was part of an ongoing gang war between the Crips and another gang called Driven by Hustle. And suspects Michael Green and Dante Bundridge have been arrested and charged with arson tied to two separate daycare fires in Opelika. One fire took place January 13th at By His Grace Daycare, while the other occurred on January 19th at Children's Place. The two suspects are awaiting bond hearings. And President Donald Trump visiting Rome, Georgia Thursday, endorsing Clay Fuller to succeed former representative and former Trump ally Marjorie Taylor Greene for next month's congressional election. From WRBL News 3, I'm Tiffany Maddox. Make it a great day.
Good Friday morning. We were off to a humid start with temperatures near 70 and a few light showers. Showers and a few storms possible later this morning and into the afternoon. Those highs reaching the upper 70s today. Tonight, cloudy and humid, lows near 60. For Saturday, showers and storms in the afternoon. A few of those could be strong to severe as the system pushes through the region. Highs in the mid 70s. Breezy and cooler for Sunday and into early next week.
To get the full story, visit sportsvisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. Sports Visions 92.1.
This hour brought to you in part by Gill's Auto Sales, now celebrating their 40th anniversary.
If you owe money to the IRS, they'll come after you until you are flat broke. Don't just roll over and take it. The IRS has changed. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a huge break, as much as 87%. Haven't filed a return for years? It's time for Guardian Tax. Their happy clients are celebrating.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Is tax debt ruining your life? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax understands how the IRS works. Personal or business, this is the fresh start you've been praying for. You're scared of the IRS, and for good reason. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Visit GuardianTax.com or call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-505-7915. 800-505-7915. Once again, that's 800-505-7915.
Gorey's Furniture Express, your expressway to saving.
February is the month for love, and Gorey's Furniture Express wants to show their love for you, their customers, with free local delivery during the month of February on purchases of $1,000 or more. Free local delivery during the month of February, and that's only at Gorey's Furniture, and that's why you're going to love this place. Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
If it's local, it's on the Sports Visions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Good Friday morning, everybody. TGIF. Richard, thank God it's Friday, man.
Yeah, it's great. This week has flown by. Now I'm looking forward to the weekend. And I always enjoy just coming in on Fridays because I know that I'm closer to sleeping in for a couple of days. And it's a great feeling. And I just want to clear the air. I don't sleep in until like 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm usually up by 6 or 7.
Yeah.
That's definition of sleeping in for me.
Same here.
And because my body is just used to waking up. Of course, the family does go to church on Sunday, so we got to be up early anyway. But I just that extra couple of hours of sleep is nice.
I'll tell you what, one thing is that you're still fresh off of retirement. And obviously, again, I know that, the body's going to get acclimated. Everything that you do, you always stay busy. But again, just that mindset. Have you had an opportunity to sit alone and think about all that you were able to accomplish?
I have, and I've accomplished a lot. And now I'm kind of looking back and seeing, okay, everything that I've learned and all the leadership traits that I learned throughout my entire military career, how can that translate to my next chapter in my life? Because I'm not done. I know sometimes people, when they think retirement, they think that you don't have to work anymore. That's not the case. I mean, there's plenty of jobs out there. You could do whatever you want. And now I'm kind of just picking and choosing what I could possibly do next.
Well, that's the best thing about that is that you have a choice. You do have a choice, and not a lot of people have a situation like that. But yes, thanks to you and all of your years of service, Richard, you have that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I look forward to coming in here every morning, because I have that freedom to come in. I know that there are some jobs out there where you're getting up at 5 a.m. like we are and going to a factory, working 12 hours a day. And I mean, shout out
to the factory workers.
Yeah, here's the thing. I could do that too. They do a great job. And I appreciate all the workers out there that are doing everything they can to put food on the table and to help support their family. And I applaud them. And I go out in the community and I talk to them all the time. And I could do something like that too. I mean, so that's something that it's giving me options. And I'm glad that I appreciate all those workers out there for that.
Good deal. Hey, man, coming up in only about 3 weeks, man, we're going to honor the top high school basketball players, both boys and girls, in and around the Chattahoochee Valley, the Bi-City area, with San Mark Foundation's 5th annual High School All Bi-City Basketball Awards, presented by Sportsvisions 92.1. And boy, oh boy, I tell you, what a better time to, start to prepare and think about what it's going to be, because again, we are right slap dead in the middle of all this end of season tournament play. And Richard, we're seeing people, read that. And again, if we had it tonight, obviously you've seen enough. We've seen enough basketball to know who are the best players in and around the Chattahoochee Valley area. And with that said, I know that, some kids come out and make runs at the end of the year. But for the most part, we know who the better players are. We know who the offensive players are. We know who the defensive players are. We know who the teams are. We hope. But again, that is where you can separate yourselves from making a run, and of course, a run for a state championship.
Yeah, no question about it. They actually did come out with the all region teams for Class 2 Region 1, where 7 of the 8 Muskogee County schools are in this region. And we had several coaches of the year, Eric Pembroke Allen for Carver boys, and Coach Kelly Ellison for the Hardaway girls. The player of the year was Brooke Shipp over there for the girls, and then Tobias Tolbert was the player of the year for the boys. And when you look at the entire Bi-City, you got to look at the players that are still, they're great, but yeah, they had injuries like Jabria Lindsay, Rihanna Boynton, but I think they should still be honored, even though they didn't light up the stat sheet this year because of injuries. But over on the boys side, you look at just that 1-2 dynamic punch for Carver, Tobias Tolbert and TJ Woodson, who, by the way, got offensive player of the year. Deshaun Canty from Spencer got defensive player of the year. And then you can't forget about Champ Simpson down there in Casita. Congratulations to Chaco. I'm glad that we're including Chaco with the teams for the basketball awards luncheon. They will take on Taylor County for the region championship tonight. And I do want to make mention, I'm glad we're including Russell County too. Their season ended last night in the Sweet 16 at Alabama State. They lost to Saraland 46-42. A very close game. Congratulations to Coach Ronnie Battle and the Russell County Warriors for having a fantastic season.
And those teams that will be included in the San Mark Foundation's High School Basketball Awards presented by Sportsvisions will be Brookstone, Calvary Christian, Carver, Central, Chatco, Columbus, Glenwood, Hardaway, Harris County, Jordan, Kendrick, Northside, Shaw, St. Anne Pachilli, Spencer, and Russell County. So that's a nice lineup. And again, looking forward to being down at St. Luke Ministry Center on Thursday, March the 12th.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. I always appreciate that basketball awards luncheon. I appreciate just talking to all the basketball coaches and kind of recapping the season and just putting a bow on the basketball season. It's going to be a great time.
Richie, before we go to our first break, why don't we do this? Why don't we make everybody aware of what's going on schedule-wise, not only with Georgia Alabama Sports Live, but anything that's going on here in the region with regards to some of the basketball games, baseball games, soccer matches that you know of.
Absolutely. We've got the region championship tonight that you could see on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Harris County is taking on Stars Mill, the girls, as Harris County was able to beat Griffin last night, and that is the championship. We've got a couple of baseball games. We've got Glenwood taking on Columbus. That's going to be at Columbus High School. We pretty much have just those baseball tournaments and Harris County, because after that, we've got several of our guys that are going to be at Macon for the GIAA quarterfinals. So kind of a light schedule, but we still have games that we've got to do, and that's what we're going to do. We got several baseball games that are happening tomorrow, including Opelika Russell County at 11 o'clock in the morning. So looking forward to seeing all of that on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Also, don't forget the big celebration up on the hill. Of course, the Carver Tigers celebrating their 2025 Class 2A state football championship. Of course, they're having a block party up on the hill with the band and, of course, all the cheerleaders, and going to be honoring the players. And finally, again, I know they've had to reschedule that several times because of inclement weather. I know that the cold and the ice that came in and snow has bumped it off. This is, probably the third or fourth opportunity that they've had to present this. But anyway, they will be there. And I believe that they're going to have everything get underway about 2 o'clock.
Yeah, that's exciting. I know that I was a part of it last year. I know that Jarvis Jones, the coach, he's got to be excited that he gets to be a part of the first as a first-year head coach. But just like it was last year, I'm just excited for Carver that they get to celebrate once again. And hopefully they could raise money and get those rings. And some of those players could end up wearing 2 rings. And I think that I know that's the goal, is they want to try to get some rings, get some money donated so they can have rings. And some of the players end up having 2 rings. I think that's awesome. And especially what Carver has been able to accomplish the last couple of years.
All right, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, you know what? It's the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame time of season. Of course, that ceremony will be tomorrow down at the Columbus Trade and Convention Center, a 10 o'clock start. And, of course, we'll have their fearless leader coming up in just a little bit. His name is Leo Berard. So don't go anywhere. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you are listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
If it's local, it's on the Sports Visions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
All kids dream about what they want to be when they grow up. But too many kids don't have the chance to realize their dreams because of a car crash, a fire, a drowning, or some other tragedy. Did you know that preventable injuries are the #1 cause of death for children in the United States? But the thing about preventable injuries is they're preventable. There are little things we can do so kids can grow up to do big things. Learn more at safekids.org.
Older buildings may contain asbestos and lead. Pipe or other insulation, ceiling tiles, exterior siding, roof shingles, and sprayed-on soundproofing may contain asbestos. Disturbing materials containing lead-based paint may release lead dust into the air. If your home contains asbestos or lead-based paint and any of these materials have been damaged or will be disturbed during cleanup, talk to public health authorities. From the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency.
What would you give for a child you loved? To make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. They can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align. Because when we come together, hope and joy will shine. Wishes need stars like you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the GHSA and the Georgia Athletic Directors Association.
Joey from Vermont, a farmer trying to get through the winter. Adriana from South Carolina, a single mother living paycheck to paycheck. Liam from Ohio, an injured father struggling to provide for his family. Hi, I'm Shanola Hampton, and I support the Feeding America network of food banks because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic, safe, effective, even money-saving, just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. The VA Health and Benefits app is like a one-stop shop for veterans. They can view or cancel VA medical appointments, send and receive messages from clinicians, and realize many other benefits. Download the app on your iPhone or at the Google App Store or wherever you normally get your mobile apps.
We got out of Washington State, and I think a week after, state went on lockdown for COVID.
So then when we transitioned to Texas, it was very much so like, what are we going to do now?
Operation Homefront has allowed our family to make something of ourselves again in the world after the military.
It's completely changed the way our life is. It took us from a hopeless situation, and now we're homeowners. We have a savings account. I'm the first one to own a home out of my siblings.
Visit OperationHomefront.org to learn more.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
You're waking up with a Sports Visions morning show on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to former Green Bay Packer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Pleased to have with us today their director. Of course, his name is Leo Bechard. Good morning, Leo. How are you?
Good morning, DJ. Thrift, how y'all doing?
We're real good, man. You're a traveling guy, man. I've been trying to catch up with you for a few weeks, man, but you have been on a tour unlike anything, man. You've been north, you've been west, you've been everywhere. So you're finally back here in the Chattahoochee Valley, huh?
I am. I'm glad to be back south, even though it's not much warmer here than it was up north. But it's good to be back home.
Well, Leo, as the director, now you've been here in a couple of years. So why don't you do this? Why don't you just go ahead and give an executive summary of the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame committee and you as the director, and let the Sports Visions Nation know not only what you do, but what you're about.
Yeah, so the Chattahoochee Sports Hall of Fame, it's a 100% volunteer board. We've got 16 of us that our sole mission is to find, the 5 deserving candidates that represent the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame through sports endeavors. That could be, former players in the community, former coaches, or former contributors that, helped build the legacy in sports throughout this community. So that is our mission. So we've got our 26 class being inducted February 21st at the Trade Center. It's 10 o'clock for the ceremony. Brunch is served, and then we'll have the ceremony will start, 45 minutes or so after that, once everybody gets settled in. So we're celebrating, and we'll get into it a little bit, the 5 new inductees, as well as celebrating in all 14 high schools in the Chattahoochee Valley. The athletic administration for each school designates one male, one female in the high schools across all sports, and we call them our GRIT award winners, and that GRIT stands for growth, resilience, initiative, and teamwork. And so just everything that embodies the student athletes that we have here in the community. So we're really excited about doing this. And then the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame, we also sponsor the all Chattahoochee Valley teams that we do across all sports in all seasons throughout the high school calendar year, from fall to winter to spring, that we announce after each season. So we've got a lot going on. Again, it's an all volunteer board. So we do our best, and we appreciate having the opportunity to be on Sports Vision to tell what we do and to tell the public about the banquet coming up.
Can't wait for it, Leo. And as we did last time, I think we should do it this time too. And again, our audience is growing, got new people listening, and how it goes about the process of voting. So start from the very beginning to how someone gets nominated to how they actually get implemented as a Hall of Famer.
Yep. So it's a good question, Thrift. Appreciate it. So if you go, anybody can go to our website at cvsportshof.com. There is a link that you can nominate someone. So you can nominate it. It gets into our database. We as a committee meet on everything. We vet it. We go through it. We ask questions. We may gather more information. And then ultimately as a group, someone on the nomination committee nominates someone to be put in for vote, to be in our database to vote. That makes sense. And then once someone is submitted and then is approved and then gets nominated, then they're in our database. And right now we've got a database of probably 75, all deserving candidates. But then once it comes down for our final vote, we take that 75 or however many is in the nominating database. We go through it, we look at it, and we slowly scale it down as a committee to ultimately vote on the 5 deserving candidates to be inducted that year.
Leo, as the fearless leader of the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame and the committee, obviously it was established in 1995. Give us a little brief history of some of the, the pioneers that started this organization.
Oh yeah, so we've got a legacy of people that helped start it. Wallace Davis was right there, at the very beginning. Jim White, who has run the organization for 25 years, that just retired a couple years ago. Those were, as well as some of the other business leaders in the community. So it's got a long legacy that we're just trying to continue to grow and, pass it on to future generations, because we've got a lot of good, as you talk about every day, we've got a lot of great athletes and a lot of people that need to be celebrated in the community.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's not just athletes. You got contributors and administrators, and it's a plethora of different people that are being taken into consideration. It's a tough job, I know. And again, you get, you hear the talk about this person needs to go in or that person needs to go in. But again, Thrift and I had a conversation last week talking about, the process. And again, I serve on, I've been on that board and of that committee, and I've been, and I'm a part of the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame now. And again, you're just going to never, You're never going to have enough of the people that deserve to be
Yeah.
in there. And again, as the leader of the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame, I know you get the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would say, where we're going as a committee is trying to be more proactive in, rather than relying on someone to get nominated, as a committee, trying to be more proactive and go find, who are the people that are not in our database that are deserving to be at least nominated in our database. And so I think over the next year, that's our biggest challenge. And again, we're 100% volunteers. We all have other jobs, and but that's what we're really focused on, is how proactively can we go out and identify the ones that aren't even in consideration for our voting at this point.
You talked about the all Chattahoochee Valley sports teams, which I really love. I know the Legend Choir used to have that, and we kind of got away from those all Tri-City teams, and y'all brought it back. So talk about that process, because I know many people are interested and they're up in air about this and that. And it's like, Leo, the coaches vote on it. So if you're going to get bad, you can blame them. So talk about that process.
Yeah. So that process is, we ever since the Ledger that used to sponsor the all by city teams, when they did away with it, it was, missing for about 5 years. So we, as a committee, said, hey, somebody needs to do, something for all sports. And so we brought that back. And so what we do is we rely, the first step, it was Jeff Battles, and now it's Kendall Mills, who both of them are on our board at the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame. They help spearhead and reach out to all the athletic directors when it comes right before the end of each season. So fall, winter, and spring, they reach out to all athletic directors and say, all right, we've got a meeting. They'll let them know when it is. They help coordinate it. And so they bring in all the coaches for all the, male and female, for all the sports that we're having. We meet. Usually it takes a 2-day process to get through all of it. But we, have a session, 45-minute, hour session with all the coaches, and we go through, who are the candidates. And so prior, they submit names. And then, as you would expect, they go through each name and they say, all right, who are our no doubters, first team? And they whittle it down to first team, second team. And then if we have, the first and second team, if we don't have a high school that's represented, we will nominate someone, at least one person from one school that's not in there, to be an honorable mention. So to make sure every school is represented. So we'll have a first team, second team throughout all teams, all sports throughout the calendar year. And we post it all on our social media posts. We do a full page ad in the Ledger that we do. Thanks to Houston Clinic. They're the big sponsor. They make it happen. They help us pay for all that stuff with the Ledger, the marketing expenses. So we're very appreciative of Houston for sponsoring all that. But yeah, that's it's a big job. We're very thankful for our coaches. I'm interested because growing up, going through all this, you never knew what happened. I am so appreciative of our coaches. They do an outstanding job. They check their egos at the door. All they want to do is celebrate their student athletes in a very fair way. So I cannot be more impressed with all of our coaches that we have in the Chattahoochee Valley that really make this thing happen.
Awesome.
Leo Bechard is the director of the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame committee. And Leo, I know that's a tough job, but I don't know if you have a list around or any, but I mean, can you introduce or at least let us know who's on the committee?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you who's going to be inducted, if I can do that. I at least want to make sure we get that in. So our 5 inductees this year are, so first one's Mark Levy. Mark was, grew up here, was a good athlete. He was well represented, president of the CORDA, the Columbus, Regional Tennis Association, for forever, been very involved in the community that way. And then he was a USTA national tennis champion in 2015. He was a U.S. Open pickleball gold medalist in 2023 and a two-time gold medalist at the 24 U.S. Senior Pickleball North American Championship. So very involved with the community, with tennis, and has been an outstanding pickleball player. Is, as y'all know, one of the fastest growing sports in America. Our next one is Eileen Morales. Eileen, she was a 2003 graduate from Hardaway. She is, if not the best, one of the top 5 softball athletes that we've had in this community. Eileen was not only all state, but Georgia Quad A State Player of the Year in softball. She went on to play at Georgia Tech, where she was Freshman of the Year, All ACC Freshman of the Year. She's been on 2-time All ACC teams, 2-time All American. Massive career. Went and played professionally for a few years, and then came back into coaching, where she is the current head coach for Georgia Tech in their softball program. So outstanding representative in the community with her softball, everything that she's done. Our next one, our third one, is John Schinkel. So you talk about DJ contributors. John's been a long-term advocate in this community around sports. He's been involved with the Columbus State University Athletic Fund for over 30 years. He's chaired it, been president twice during that. So if you think over the last 30 years, everything that's happened at CSU with all their athletic, he's been very much involved with it. And then secondly, he's also been involved with the Haskins Foundation. And, for your listeners, I don't know if you know, but the Haskins Award is the Heisman Trophy of college golf. So it was in 1973, it was started right here in Columbus. Ben Crenshaw was the very first winner of the Haskins Award. He went on to win it 3 times in a row. Phil Mickelson is the only other 3-time winner of the Haskins Award. But it is, all here in Columbus. And a lot of people don't know about it. And, through John's vision, probably 15 years ago, he's really elevated it that now, when you're watching Golf Channel, they talk about the Haskins Award. There's commercials through our Stiefel sponsorship all throughout the year about the Haskins Award. And then, 13 years ago, we started the Annika Award, which is the equivalent on the women's side. So John's been very instrumental in making all that happen. So John's very deserving to be in the Chattahoochee Valley Hall of Fame. And then, kind of a soft spot for the last 2 is Coach Bobby and Carolyn Wright. So I don't know, your longtime listeners, you know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yes.
A long time, you can't talk about Central and really Phoenix City athletics without talking about Bobby and Carolyn Wright. Coach Bobby was a 44-year Central High coach, coached some assistant coaching football, but really coached basketball, where he led his teams to 19 area championships, 7 regional titles, making 7 Final Four appearances, as well as a 7-time Bi-City Coach of the Year. So just unbelievable record. He was also heavily involved in Phoenix City. He ran the Phoenix City Athletic. He was their athletic director for the city. So, great coach. I mean, touched so many lives in this community. So we're really excited for him and Carolyn, his wife. How great can you have your husband and wife get inducted in the same year? Carolyn she was at Central for 33 years, the track as well as volleyball, and 11 area titles, 4 regional titles, and 4 Final Fours. And then she also served as the city athletic director. And both of them was just recently in the last couple of years inducted into the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. So 2, unbelievable people, touched so many lives, and we couldn't be more thrilled to have them be part of the new 26 inductee class for the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame.
Very good, very good. And I know when we talk about the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame, Leo, it was, of course, we stand and you stand on some shoulders of some great influencers and some great people that get it done. But as far as you running the organization right now, what are the biggest challenges that you face each and every day in conjunction with your committee, who are all volunteers?
Yeah, so I think the biggest, it takes money to put on, a big banquet. We do fundraisers. We have a big golf tournament that helps raise funds. We have to go out there, find sponsors. And I think the biggest thing is to, really change, not necessarily change our role, but as I said earlier, how do we be more proactive to get more people to be inducted into our database where we can then, vote on them. And so that is the biggest challenge is, and it's not, we can't put it all on our board. It has to be a community effort. And so, we are trying to get more of the community involved to make sure that our Hall of Fame every year, everyone's worthy. And how do we get the people that have never been nominated that are certainly worthy? How do we get them in the database? And that is help from the community. And how do we get them involved through marketing efforts? Everything's social media now, trying to build that out. As a volunteer organization, that's pretty tough.
Absolutely. Now's a proper time for you to introduce or to share with us that committee.
Yeah, so we've got a very diverse committee. I talk, I say we've got some, coaches, administrators, but then we rely on a lot of our old, they hate for me to call them old, but the media people that have helped cover this community for a long time. So we've got, from coaches, Charles Flowers, longtime coach and city athletic director, Kendall Mills, longtime coach, current city athletic director, as well as Jeff Battles, who was our city athletic director prior to Kendall. So they help a lot. Then you've got longtime advocates, Dickie Saunders, Chuck Heck, Blair Harrison, who's over at Smith Station coach, Jimbo Davis, who just announced his retirement from CSU, associate athletic director, Jay Sparks, longtime coach in the community, and Pam Carter, longtime coach, cheerleading coach, and very involved in the community. And then we've got our media help with Mark Rice, Gary Clegg, Jack Patterson, Mark Clark, Dave Plata, and Kathy Gear. So between all of us, it's a yeoman's work to try and make this happen year in and year out. But we get a ton of help from our board.
Awesome, man. And I listen, those guys and women dedicate their time and effort to make sure we shine a light on all the teams in this area. I'm going to ask your question, Leo, and DJ may kill me, but I want to ask about middle school because we talk about this all the time.
Why would I kill you?
I want, because I'm specifically
leave me out of this. Ask your question.
Let me leave DJ out of it. It's because my granddad was a longtime middle school coach, won many championships, had a 40-game winning streak, and I'm seeing a lot of great middle school coaches today. There's a coach at Fort's won 6 championships. At what point can we start including middle school coaches? Because their development of young athletes, what they do for the kids in our area, it matters a lot as well because those kids turn into great athletes at the high school and then college level. Do we plan on incorporating middle school in part of the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And that kind of goes back to the future as we build. I mean, there is, Sportsvision does a great job on radio covering local sports, but there is a big need. The days of old when the newspaper covered, Little League and middle school, high school events, those days are gone and there is a void. And we're trying to get there, with a volunteer board. It's tough to do, but we would love to pump out content on a weekly basis on what's going on in the community. And that's something we're striving for. And certainly, middle school could be a part of that. But DJ Thrift, as we talk about challenges of a 100% volunteer board, those are big aspirational ideas,
right?
And trying to get coordinated and organized around that, it's a lot of tasks. And quite honestly, it doesn't come from the board. That would have to be a community effort to help let the board know, hey, what's going on. I think that we could see, doing what we do for the all Chattahoochee Valley teams, something similar at the middle school level at some point. But yeah, Thrift, I hear you. There's a lot of great middle school that never gets recognized in the community.
He is Leo Bechard, and he's with the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame. And Leo, when we talk about challenges, one of the challenges that I have as a board member, and of course with the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame, as well as the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame, is that I had growing up, and again, I'm a little older than most, and again, but you got these young people today, again. They go back 5, 10, 15 years again, and it's still not even in my era. And then you talk about me and navigating my era, even you go back 15, 20, 30 years beyond my era. That's where I run into problems, because the statistics, the names, the years, the older, the older people, that it's just a wall there that you just really can't see, other than somebody handing you a card with some stats on it. That you've never seen this player, or you've never heard of this person, and it's just tough. Those are the challenges that I face as a voter, as a committee member on both organizations.
Absolutely. So, and that's why you have to have a board that crosses generations, if you will, and that's where we ally, and that's why we have a lot of our media partners. The people that DJ, I'm talking to, our media guys, they covered you in high school, so I think we need to get better, but absolutely, you got to have a board that's cross generations. And you focus so much on the, kind of the past, but we also have to have a plan for these kids that are just coming out, to make sure that, we capture them as they're coming out, because, a lot of great high school kids, and you think, DJ, about, the past, but you also got to think about the future. And, maybe they have some time to further their career, but you need to get them in the database. So, when they're done with their career, then you have that full body of work that you can then look at.
What are the rules and regulations as it pertains to the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame, as far as being removed from the sport before you're able to be considered?
We do not have any rules, in terms of that. So, as long as you, lived here in Columbus, participated in sports, or participated in terms of contribution to the community, that is really the only stipulation that we have.
Good deal. Leo, before you go, I'd like to open it up and let you have a couple of minutes to talk to the Sportsvisions Nation about your event coming up, and your ask, if you will, on behalf of your organization. So I'll turn the mic over to you and let you give your last words.
Yeah. So again, the new inductee class is being inducted at the Trade Center on Saturday, February 21st. The doors open at 10 o'clock. Brunch is provided, and then we have a ceremony to celebrate our GRIT recipients, as well as the inductee class. It's a great morning of celebration. The tickets are $40. You can buy them on our website at cvsportshof.com, or you can go to all our social media platforms. Instagram, Twitter, it's CV Sports HOF is how you find us. On Facebook, it's Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame is how you find us. So if you can go to any of those platforms, and you'll find links to the inductee ceremony. But again, February 21st at the Trade Center, $40 for those great, well-deserving inductees. We look forward to opening up the community to come and celebrate our community leaders.
Leo, I know it's early, but are you also soliciting golfers to play in the tournament, the fundraiser that you have?
So a little early for that. So we do it in October. So we will, come summertime, we'll start soliciting for golf teams to, help celebrate. I don't have the dates yet, but it's a 4-man scramble, Maple Ridge. So they do a great job. It's a fun time. Usually the weather's great, so it's a lot of fun.
Leo, we thank you. You've been very informative. And again, man, anytime you have something or news that you want to get out to the community on behalf of the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame Committee, you got a platform, my friend.
Yeah. DJ Thrift, I appreciate all the help and support.
Thanks, Leo.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir.
If it's local, it's on the Sports Visions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Hi, folks. It's the Hubster again with Gill's Auto Sales. I want to begin by thanking the thousands of customers who have purchased vehicles from Gill's Auto Sales the past 39 years. And now we're excited to announce our 40th anniversary. This will be a year-long celebration at all 6 Gill's locations. Many dealers mark the price down on a few vehicles for a few days, and they call that a sale. But when you shop at Gill's, you select the vehicle that best fits your needs and budget from an inventory of over 400 vehicles. Plus, you will get a free 30-month, 30,000-mile warranty on any vehicle you purchase. Y'all come see us.
Think switching to T-Mobile is a whole complicated thing? Nah, it's easy. You can do it almost anywhere in just 15 minutes.
Even poolside like Drewski, you can switch to T-Mobile and unlock savings that are built to last. With T-Mobile's Better Value Plan, you can save over $1,000 a year versus Verizon and AT&T. Save on streaming, satellite, and more benefits that they leave out.
Now I get all the VIP perks.
Start saving from day one, and for a limited time, get T-Mobile's Better Value Plan.
I know you love deals.
Plus, switch right now, and we'll even pay off your old phone up to $800. What do you think of all that, Drewski?
Stay chilling, just switch. It's better over here.
Check the math at T-Mobile.com/better value. Savings versus comparable plans at AT&T and Verizon, plus the cost of optional benefits. Plan features and taxes and fees vary. With 3+ lines of Better Value Plan. 3+ new lines and 2 eligible ports, or 3+ lines and 5+ years on T-Mobile postpaid plan required. Qualifying credit required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Get up to $800 per line via virtual prepaid card. Typically take 15 days after rebate submission. Qualifying unlocked device credit service ported 90+ days with device and eligible carrier, and timely redemption required. No cash access. Card expires in 6 months. Card issued by Sunrise Banks N.A. member FDIC.
WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1. Catch the Paul Five-Bomb Show 3 to 7 on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Here's 3-time Georgia Bulldog SEC champion and 1980 national champion DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Richard Holdridge, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, listen, I want to give a big shout out to, of course, his name is Leo Bechard, and he is the fearless leader of the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame. And all eyes and ears are headed towards the Columbus Convention and Trade Center tomorrow at 10 a.m. Of course, be there or be square. Of course, the 5 new inductees going in. And again, Leo did a great job of explaining exactly who the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame is and what they're all about, Rich.
Yeah, I love the fact that I got to be a part of that ceremony for the past 2 years. Unfortunately, I will not be a part of this ceremony this year because I'll be in Macon. But yeah, congratulations. And I'm glad that you had all the inductees on the Sports Vision Morning Show. I listened to the interview with Aileen Morales, and I know she's got 6 games this week.
Yep.
Hopefully she can maybe get on a private jet to come down to Columbus, give an acceptance speech, and get ready for a softball game that afternoon.
Well, I'm looking forward to going down and, of course, supporting all the inductees and seeing a lot of the alumni who have made it into previous classes will be there as well. Without further ado, let's go ahead and go down to Macon, Georgia, where the other part of the Sports Visions team is on assignment. Good morning, Thrift Barringer. How are you?
I'm doing great, DJ. How are you, man?
Wonderful, wonderful. You're looking good, man. You're looking good. You got the nice light. You got the studio lights up on you?
I mean, I've turned some lights on in here. Got to make sure it looks good in this hotel room that they got me in. And nothing wakes me up in the morning and look in the back of Richard's head. So good morning, y'all. Thank y'all for having me, y'all.
Oh, Richard, he just won't leave you alone, will he?
I can't. I'm sorry. I love you. Rich, I love you, man.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in a minute.
Just when I thought I was out, he pulls me right back in.
But look, man, you're down in Macon taking care of business. Obviously, another assignment with the GIAA quarterfinals. Why don't you tell us all about it?
So, in recent years, they usually only broadcast semifinals and state championship games. And It's something that we've been talking about over the last year or so. Would we potentially want to do quarterfinals? Last year we were thinking about doing it, but I kept telling the Tony, the guy that runs GIAA.tv, I was like, there's just no way that my guys could do it. We had so much going on in Columbus. Well, now as we've expanded and started Middle Georgia Sports Live, having a team in Macon where I only have to ask myself, Richard, and Mike Peacock to come down to Macon, and the rest of the guys at Columbus can do what we got to do because a ton of games still going on locally. We were able to make it happen because there's 32 games, 3 different locations in 2 days. It's a lot logistically. And I didn't know if we could take on the undertake, but the more I convinced him, because most of the time when we do GIAA broadcast, it's a 4-camera setup, a play-by-play, a color, a producer, a guy that runs the scoreboard, and a guy that does replay. There's about 8 people on the broadcast. You can't do that with 3 different locations. You would need 25 people. This is no way possible. So we condense it. We do it like we do at Georgia Alabama Sports Live mostly. 1 camera, 1 play-by-play, and a producer. Go to location, have fun all day, let them feed you. So that's what we're going to be doing here the next couple of days. 4 different classifications within the GIAA. Girls are Friday, start today at 12 o'clock at Tatnall and Stratford. And then Richard will be there at FPD. Those games start at 3:30. So 16 games today, all girls. 16 more tomorrow, all boys. Locally, Pacelli girls today, 6 o'clock. And then Pacelli boys tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Hopefully they can win and move on to the semifinals.
Shout out to Pacelli, the St. Anne Pacelli Vikings. The only representative I know, Brookstone and Calvary, both were eliminated. And I tell you what, much to the concern of everybody here. Again, I know that. So again, as we always say, you know what? When they're one team, which is St. Anne Pacelli, whether it's Calvary or Brookstone, everybody is. St. Anne Pacelli they are representing Columbus, Georgia. So we got to get behind them.
Yeah, 100%, DJ. And I have the mindset that I can't stand the little packs, man. We're the Tri-City area, DJ. When you started Sportsvisions, you didn't say, all right, Carver, Spencer, and hey, Kendrick, y'all are going to come to the luncheon. No, it was everybody included. When we started streaming, everybody's included. We cheer for everyone outside of this area. So why can't we have that same mindset when teams go on to the state championship? I hope everyone does that. And by the way, these GIAA state championships back at CSU. So if Pacelli girls and boys win, semifinals next week and state championship next weekend. So there's no reason the community should go out and support, but it's going to be a tough one for the girls. For the boys, DJ, I think unless something catastrophic happens, and I'm knocking on wood, they are a prohibited favorite, and they should handle their business.
Thrift, I want to shout out 2 schools that are still in the Chattahoochee Valley that as we expand for Georgia Alabama Sports Live, LaGrange Academy for the boys and Southland Academy, which is located down in Americas. I know we're very familiar with Pacelli, but any other local team, like not necessarily local to Columbus, that to keep an eye on, because I know that there's a lot of teams out there from Macon. We've got some defending champions and still in this thing. But what are you looking forward to about this tournament?
I like watching basketball, so it's going to be fun. Very competitive games. So locally, now there's not really any teams people are going to care about other than Pacelli. But I like going, and because I've been invested in the GIAA now for going on, man, this is year number 3. Yeah. It's the third basketball semifinals and state championships I'm about to call for them. I've started to get used to the names, the characters, the personas that these coaches have, and I've sort of kind of establishing a relationship with them around the entire state. So I look forward to going and calling all the games, and I know they're going to be highly competitive and should be a lot of fun with the girls and the boys tonight. So like I said, 16 games in 2 days, should be some good basketball.
Thrift, when you compare or when you're calling games, obviously, what's the biggest difference that you see from GIAA to GHSA?
Definitely the athleticism, DJ, and that is excluding Pacelli. Pacelli can athletically play with almost anybody. But for a lot of the other teams, especially when you move up, let me get this. I think there's a ton of GIAA schools that can beat 6A, 5A, there are always going to be schools that they can beat, okay? But consistently, yes, the bigger classifications or the teams like Carver, athletically, just it's hard to match up with them when you have one or two guys that can get above the rim, and you're going to get someone like Carver that's got 7 or 8 guys. And that's the biggest difference. I like, and it's two different kind of styles of basketball, DJ. For when I was in Macon last week on Friday, I'm watching a half-court offense. They're playing zone defense the entire time, and it's a slow game. It's 49-48 with a minute left, which that's like a Virginia Big Ten defensive basketball game. And then I leave and come back on Saturday last week and calling Carver Spencer, and they're running up and down the court. We had 5 dunks. Deshaun Canty had a dunk on someone. Tobias Solbert. I wasn't seeing a ton of dunks at the Tatnall one, but didn't take away from that brand of basketball. So it's just different, but it's still fun and entertaining. And I thoroughly enjoy calling the GIAA because, like I said, a lot of them are competitive, and that's all I want, DJ. You know that more than anything. I'd rather call a competitive game with no dunks than watching a 60-point blowout that has 5 dunks. That's just me.
If we had a couple of teams in our area that we cover, their seasons came to an end yesterday. Russell County, they fell to Saraland. Just talk about just the season that Coach Ronnie Battle has really, as they got to the second round before, but getting this far in the Sweet 16 is an accomplishment. It was a close game against Saraland. I know a lot of the fans that were at the Russell County baseball game, they ducked out early so they could head to Montgomery to go cheer on the Warriors. And then their season not over, but they lost in the regional tournament, the Northside girls, but they'll still make the playoffs. Just talk about some of the basketball that's happened this past week, and what are you looking forward to when we know some of the teams that are good, they know where they're going to go in these upcoming tournaments.
So Northside, Jarquella Woods, they played Stars Mills tough. They were the number 1 seed in the region tournament yesterday, so great season for them. I don't think they make the playoffs, but they're a young team, and I think they congratulations on being competitive this year, at least winning a game in the region tournament. For Russell County, I think I've beat it into the ground as much as I can, but I'll do it once more. Ronnie Battle's Coach of the Year. He won 23 games after replacing several seniors each and every year, and it's just a consistency with him that I thoroughly love watching this team play. They may not have a guy that's going to go get you 40 every night, but they play hard, they're physical, and they look like they enjoy playing with each other. And so I commend Ronnie Battle on the job he did with Russell County this year. I know they came up short against Saraland, but doesn't take away from what was a great season. Would have been nice if they made it to the quarterfinals, yes, but in the end, I still think he's Coach of the Year for what he was able to do with this Russell County team.
While we're talking coaches, let's go ahead and talk boys and girls, MVPs or players of the year in your mind. I know that they had different polls that came out and with already, basically crowning the offensive players of the year, defensive players of the year, coaches of the year, and that sort. But if you had to say right now, again, with regards to all the wonderful games that you've had to call, and then, of course, some that you didn't see, who would be the best female, or at least the girls' most MVP in your mind?
Man, that's really a tough one, DJ, especially when talking about the girls, because, the best players were injured.
Well, again, see, that's the part of it that I want you to. I'm glad you said that. Now, how fair is it to know? I know as great as Jabria and Boynton is, right? They don't have the numbers.
No, they can't.
Number of games. It's kind of like the NBA, and
right.
The new rule and said, hey, if you don't play X amount of games, you can't be considered for the All NBA team.
Yeah, in my opinion, Mackenzie Word from Russell County, she's putting over 20 points a game. Russell County girls won 20 games this year. They beat a lot of the local teams. I know they came second in their region and lost in the first round of the playoffs, but she's been consistent all year long. So, in my opinion, because of not the injuries, I'm saying this again, the injuries got to come into account. When you look at the NBA, they have to meet a certain number of games. If they don't play 65 games, guess what, DJ? They can't even be the All-NBA team. They can't win an MVP. So that's the same thing here in high school athletics. If you don't play the whole season, you only play, I'd say, 1/5 of the season, or two-thirds, 2/4. In my opinion, it's hard for you to be in that player of the year. So Mackenzie Ward would be one. Brooke Shipp, I know she was the region player of the year for the region for Shaw. I think she had a fantastic season. I would put her up there, but Mackenzie Ward, because Russell County's been the top of our rankings all year long. They went 23-3 or whatever it was, 23-4, and she was consistent with her scoring. I lean towards her on the girls' side.
And as far as the boys are concerned?
For the boys, man, Makai Williams and Matt Melvin, I kind of like almost co-players of the year. Quader Truesdale would be another one. Tobias Tolbert. That I really got to think about that one, DJ. I like to kind of see how the season plays out. Tobias has been dominant all year long, and he's been consistent all year long, putting up a double-double, close to 6 blocks, close to another 3 or 4 seals. It's hard for me not to say it's Tobias. But then again, Makai and Matt Melvin over the last 5 games are averaging close to 30 points a game together. These guys are playing on another level, and they're about to win their 3rd straight state championship. Quader Truesdale has been great. Champ Simpson's putting up 23 a game. He's actually leads the area in scoring for a senior. The leading scorer is Braylon Alexander, but I'm just not ready to give it to a freshman yet. He's had a great season. If there's a freshman of the year, rookie of the year, I'd give it to him. MVP, Tobias, Matt Melvin, Makai Williams, and Champ Simpson. Out of those 4, I would do a coin flip, and I wouldn't care who you gave it to. All of them have been great this year.
Thrift, sometime Sunday afternoon, we will possibly get those brackets for the GHSA playoffs for all classifications that they're wrapping up region tournament play this week. Why hasn't anybody done a selection show? I know that there's teams that look, there's GPB, there's why not Georgia Alabama Sports? Like, if somebody has this, that would
another
be a
assignment.
idea.
You want to take on another assignment?
No.
DJ, it literally is crazy, because this man will be like, Thrift, you got me doing this, that, this. I don't ever get no sleep. And then he can come at me and say,
I'm not saying
you want to go do a 3-hour ordeal, probably 5-hour ordeal on 6 classifications? No, I understand what you're asking, Richard.
I think
It'd be
GPB
cool.
Sports should be doing it, or Kyle Sandy, the experts.
Well, it's going to take a lot of time and effort, because we're not talking one bracket like in the NCAA tournament. You're talking about 6 32-team brackets. You know how long that would take to do, Richard? That's 180 teams. That means that is 90 games that you were talking about in that first round. You're trying to break down. Whoever does it, I commend them for it. They better have a lot of stamina, or it's going to have to be a collective team effort, like maybe Cal does 6A, another group does 5A. But yes, Richard, that would be fun. I do want to go back to what DJ was talking about, MVPs and players of the year. I got just a little bit of a gripe. I said this yesterday, DJ, and I want to kind of say it again. You know, we get called out for our rankings, and I love it, man. Please, I want the comments. If you disagree with us, that is the whole point of it. It's great conversation. But now I'm going to return the favor, and call out some of the coaches. The all-region team in that with the boys for Muskogee County, and I'm talking about the region that Spencer Kendrick and all them are in, Carver. I was looking at the all-region team. There are 2 Spencer Greenwaves. There are 3 Shaw players. There are 4 Sumter County players, multiple Kendrick. How is the second best team in the entire region only have 2 players? How is that possible? But Sumter County has 4. I don't like that. And then the all-region team should be 5 players, 6 maximum. There are 10 players on the list. What is this, guys? Don't be lazy. If you're going to go about it just like we do, and we put out the rankings, don't just throw a bunch of names in the pot so everybody's happy. No, it's got to be – that makes it watered down, in my opinion. You can only play with 5 people on the court, DJ, not 10. I don't know if you know that or not. So putting 10 players in the all-region, I don't like that. Have a first team, a second team. Let's be organized, and let's do it right, because it takes away from players that are having fantastic seasons, and you just want to throw another team in so they don't feel excluded. No, that's not how it works. Sometimes You got to play well, and you don't just get put in just because your team needs to be recognized. If your team didn't play good, you may not be on the all first team. So I just wanted to throw that out there. It makes me want to thank DJ. Maybe me, you, and Richard should get our noggins together, because I know the Chat Valley does their thing. Maybe we should put our noggins together and have a Sports Vision Georgia Alabama Sports Live all team, and we put ours out there. What would make ours any different? Because we cover all these games. We're at all. We know the max preps and stuff. So it's just something I've been thinking about in terms of how they go about recognizing these players.
Now, again, the group that you were making reference to, as far as when you start talking about having 3 players on there, 4, and this, who's primarily responsible for that?
And I wanted to know that too. And this is on me for going off on my tangent and not knowing. I think it's the coaches, if I'm not mistaken. These are the coaches voting for each other for this all region. I don't think this is a media entity. So if this is the coaches doing it.
So this team has come out without anybody saying or anybody sponsoring it, or it's just a team that's all says just all region?
Yeah, that's it.
Brought to you by?
No, there's no brought to you by. There's no nothing. It has just been shared right now. And honestly, it was just a bunch of names on a Google Doc they put into a PDF and shared all over social media.
Oh.
So in that regard, I'm with you, DJ. That's where there used to be the Ledger Choir all by city team.
Yeah.
I think, and this is just me, we don't have a media team, DJ. And no offense to the coaches, but the coaches are going to take care of their own. All right. I have no allegiance to any school. I'm going to vote for who is the best. That's why I think we should come out with our own all-region team or all-area team, DJ, because we're going to include all the schools and we're going to do the best they can. Now, I know, again, the Chat Valley does their best. They put large schools and small schools, and they let the coaches vote on it. That's really cool. But the media members that go and cover all these games, we should have a say in the vote too. I'm there in the gym last week seeing 20 different teams play. Same with Richard. DJ, you were there for the state championship. Region championships. I feel like we should give out our vote too.
Well, again, I know that's your opinion, but my opinion is obviously, my plate is full, and obviously from a standpoint, again, that's more power to him. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but adding another assignment, it's not a problem. But again, it's not anything that I'm going to be forced to do because of somebody else. Lack of their effort. I mean, it's just, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it because it's needed and because it's wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to just do it just out of spite because somebody didn't, represent themselves accordingly.
I'm with you, DJ. I'm just going back to when I played. And the only thing that came out was the All by City and the Ledger Inquirer. And there were 2 teams, and then you had honorable mention. And the 2 teams had 5 players. So only 10 guys make it. You remember the Baker dozen? DJ, when you start including everybody and everyone's got to get a player on it, it becomes, I think, watered down. So listen, everyone can have their own thing, and I love it. And I love recognizing all the players in every way possible. And we are trying to shine a light on every single program. But I want someone to have one defined all area team that only has 5 players in it. And only 5 players in the second team. So we can recognize the top echelon and not just trying to include everyone, so we don't want anyone to feel left out.
Before you get out of here, Thrift, I know that you got a lot going on. So start at the top and let everybody know what they got to look forward to with regards to you being in Macon. And Rich is going to be joining you here shortly. Yeah, so Stratford, Tatnall, FPD, the First Presbyterian Day. Those are the 3 schools in Macon. It's all girls today. And Stratford has the 4A classification. 3A classification will be held at FPD. 1A is going to be in the morning at 2 different locations. They're going to get their games done at 12 and 1:30. And then Tatnall has all of 2A. So it's going to be a busy, busy day for us. You can watch all the games on GIAA.tv. That is GIAA.tv, $24.99 to have access to all 32 games. That's not even $1 a game. Once you pay the $24.99, sit back, relax, and watch every game possible. You can click on the different ones at each location and enjoy it, and it'll be a lot of fun. And we look forward to seeing who's going to be in the semifinals next week at Columbus State. And Thrift, if you want to crown their ass, crown their ass.
Crown them.
Yes, man. Sorry I came in here a little fired up, man, but we always get called out, and I'm just like, hey, listen, y'all are there watching the games too. Let's all be fair. But in the end, I'm happy for all the all-region players. I'm happy for all the basketball teams that are still competing, and I look forward to being the Sam Mark Foundation Luncheon, DJ, hosting it with you and Big Rich and giving the awards out to all the fantastic players and coaches.
Hey, man, we appreciate you. Hey, look, you be safe down there and have a great rest of your morning, bud.
Thank you, brother. I'll see you later.
All right.
See you, Thrift.
The Thrifter.
Yeah,
boy.
See him in a couple hours.
Tell him how you feel, Thrift.
We let him off the hook.
All right, let's go ahead and take a break. You are watching Facebook Live, and you're listening to WLTC HD2, Sports Visions 921. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
Stay tuned. More local and national sports coverage next on the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Tiffany Maddox with a look at this morning's headlines. A man that prosecutors described as the shooter for the Crips was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 150 years. 33-year-old Control Rogers was sentenced for the murder of Alex Bales Davis, who was killed in a criminal street gang shooting at the Spiderweb on Buena Vista Road in 2020. Testimony says the shooting was part of an ongoing gang war between the Crips and another gang called Driven by Hustle. And suspects Michael Green and Dante Bundridge have been arrested and charged with arson tied to two separate daycare fires in Opelika. One fire took place January 13th at By His Grace Daycare, while the other occurred on January 19th at Children's Place. The two suspects are awaiting bond hearings. And President Donald Trump visiting Rome, Georgia Thursday, endorsing Clay Fuller to succeed former representative and former Trump ally Marjorie Taylor Greene for next month's congressional election. From WRBL News 3, I'm Tiffany Maddox. Make it a great day.
Good Friday morning. We were off to a humid start with temperatures near 70 and a few light showers. Showers and a few storms possible later this morning and into the afternoon. Those highs reaching the upper 70s today. Tonight, cloudy and humid, lows near 60. For Saturday, showers and storms in the afternoon. A few of those could be strong to severe as the system pushes through the region. Highs in the mid 70s. Breezy and cooler for Sunday and into early next week.
To get the full story, visit sportsvisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. Sports Visions 92.1.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-908-7197. 800-908-7197. 800-908-7197. That's 800-908-7197.
Let me bring up something that everyone always asks. Do you buy vehicles? Yes, we buy vehicles at Bratton Automotive. And also, I give top dollar. Bring your vehicle to me. It will take 10 minutes, and I will give you a written appraisal. At Bratton Automotive, everybody's going to leave with a smile.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show. Let's get back to DJ and Thrift on Sports Visions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Good Friday morning, everybody. TGIF. DJ Jones and Richard Holdridge. And boy, Richard, I tell you what, did Thrift get us going or what?
Oh, Thrift got me fired up this morning. I can't wait to see him in a couple hours. And I really like that idea of having a reveal show for the brackets. I know it's going to take a lot of work. I know John Nelson, Kyle Sandy. Let's just get a whole panel. Thrift and I maybe can possibly invite it up to Atlanta, and we just have a studio show and talk about all the teams in the state.
Brother, I think you're on your own right now.
No,
that's
I
a
know.
little bit more work. That's
a lot of work.
That's a little bit much. That's a little bit much. But anyway, again, thank you so much to Leo Berard, the executive director of the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame, which will be getting underway on tomorrow mornings at 10 a.m. down at the Columbus Convention and Trade Center. All 5 new inductees going in, and I will be in the house. All right, let's go ahead and bring him up. This guy here is near and dear to our hearts, and he is a part of the family. Always will be. Moving on to bigger and greener pastures, I assume. But we're talking about a guy that started out again as a sports director. He's a sports guy, and was of course get up the food chain, and he and a tax bracket up to, of course, the morning news anchor, and now he's on another path. He is a Savannah Banana. Please welcome to the Sports Visions Morning Show, Rex Castillo. Rex, how you doing, my friend?
Good, guys. How are you doing this morning?
Wonderful. I already noticed a new haircut. I just something new. How long you been doing that side?
This style has kicked in pretty much as soon as I left the studio.
Okay.
When I talked about something a little different, just to be perfectly transparent with everybody, the hairline's a lot further back than it used to be. So trying something new. And then, got a little something on the ears here a little bit. And it was a funny thing, even with our news director at WRBL. I joked with him in the last couple of days, like, the first thing I'm doing is getting my ears pierced. And boom.
Yeah.
Told mom and dad that it had to happen. I'm paying my own taxes, my own rent, my own.
Well, you look great. You look fabulous. Hey, man, listen, how's it going? Obviously, it's been 3 months or more since we've talked to you. I wanted to give you a chance to get settled in and all, but and I tell you, man, we miss you here, man.
I miss you guys too. Now, good news is the paychecks are still clearing. The card still works in the office. I tell you what, this is a place that encourages imagination, that encourages creativity, but pushes everyone to pull the rope in the same way. We still have surprises after surprises coming up. Of course, the big date, the kickoff for the season. I will be in Tallahassee at Florida State University. We'll play Friday, Saturday at Florida State's baseball stadium. And then, because we can, we're going to play banana ball in Florida State's Doak Campbell Stadium. So we're playing baseball, or we're playing banana ball, in a football stadium. There have been pictures leaked online about the diamond going in and everything like that. And it's really, really exciting. Something to look out for in a football stadium, because the way the stadium is set up and the field is set up, it's actually a little bit easier to hit home runs. Of course, you have left field, which is, a mere 100 yards away, but there's a short right porch. So it's really interesting to see the intricacies of this sport. Also just incredible to run into and talk with Jackie Bradley Jr., the first overall pick of the revamped Indianapolis Clowns. And, it's February, Black History Month, to know that the Indianapolis Clowns, that Negro League, incredible entertainment-based baseball team during the barnstorming days, and you have a bunch of guys who absolutely get it, and it's really incredible to see. Then you have another team in the local Beach Coconuts, all about island vibes, and they have some of the best uniforms out there. It's just a really, really exciting time to be part of this company.
Richard, before you ask your question, I want to make sure that everybody is on board with what we're doing here. We're taking for granted. I'm taking for granted that the Sports Visions Nation knows what the Savannah Bananas organization is all about. But why don't you preference our conversation with sharing that with us before we go any further?
So basically what the Savannah Bananas have done since about 2016-17 is flip baseball on its head. They wanted to they saw the problem about what the Sand Gnats were going through back in Savannah. They weren't filling stadiums, and ultimately they decided to leave because, Major League Baseball organizations can say, like, well, your city's not supporting us. Pull the plug. We're going somewhere else. Understandable corporate decision. Business decisions have to be made. We flipped that model on its head. The fans are always first when it comes to us. It's literally in our name, Fans First Entertainment. And it's not Fans First Baseball. It's Fans First Entertainment. Banana ball is not baseball. It is a version of baseball that it's all about trick plays. Games are over in 2 hours, a 2-hour time limit. Fans can catch a foul ball and it's an out. And I want people to understand that, like, it is a fun version of baseball. And people are like, well, are these guys beer league athletes? No, these guys are legit absolute studs. Robert Anthony Cruz was signed to the Nationals. Unfortunately, things didn't go his way with Major League Baseball. I met a guy, Eric Osberg. He's a catcher for the Loco Beach Coconuts. He said no to the Red Sox invitation to go to spring training because he wanted to do this. You have guys who've been D1 athletes. I spoke to a young woman. Her name is Ashton Lansdale, and she played baseball her whole life, then got a scholarship to play college softball. The first time she played college softball was in college at FIU, then helped Ole Miss get to the College World Series in her first year playing softball, y'all. Comes back, and now she's a member of the Party Animals. And then you look at Kelsey Whitmore, who's one of the pitchers and the first overall draft pick in the Women's Professional Baseball League. She's back. I mean, you have legit guys all over this sport who throw 90s and hit bombs. So it's a lot of fun.
Rex, back in 2022, the Savannah Bananas came to Columbus at historic Golden Park, and it was a success. I remember seeing how crowded it was. And with that success, has there been talks about it possibly coming for the World Tour in 2027 to Synovus Park? I noticed that if you want to see the Savannah Bananas, you could see them at Truett's Park this year. But has Columbus been considered maybe a possible destination in the future? I know that's a tall order just because all the cities that want to get Banana Ball to their city.
All I can say about that is for Banana Ball, expect the unexpected.
Oh, Rex, you're teasing.
You already know what the script is. That's good. That's right. That's right.
We had to go through training for that, by the way. No, I'm kidding. I think there is always an opportunity because even this time around, we're going to places like Fargo, North Dakota, and we're going to Frisco, Texas. So we're going to smaller venues, and I think it's really fun to do that because as popular as this brand is, I akin it to like take Metallica with the brand and the power of that band and then put it in a dive bar. Everyone loves it. So I would not, I think there's Synovus Park has a lot of history and, it worked really well down there. Look, who knows what the future has to hold, right? So I'll just leave it.
Well, Rex, let me ask you this way, because again, I know that you are a WWE fan. However, and so for the people out there that think that Banana Ball is nothing more than the WWE style with scripts and all of this stuff, so help us understand that that's not what it is.
You know what? I've heard that too. That there's a lot of parallels to the Harlem Globetrotters, right?
Yeah.
There's actually, I couldn't have been more wrong about that. Even when I thought about it too. So one thing that I really appreciated about this, that there are times and there are dedicated moments in practice where you have to practice trick plays. The reason why it looks so easy is because of the work these guys have put in. Did you know it takes so they timed it in their heads. You have about 4 seconds to feel the ball, pull off the ground, feel the ball, pull off a trick play and get the out. Because getting the out is the most important part. You could dribble it off your head and off to your feet, but you have to get it to the base. And then there are guys who go to local gymnastics gyms pulling off backflips. These are practice. These are rehearsed. There is no script that says, all right, Bananas win 3-2. And at the top of the seventh inning, this guy's going to pull off this pitch. This guy's going to do this. It doesn't happen. Baseball, as good as we are, baseball is too much of a game of variables. So there is no script. We don't allow the Party Animals to win. We don't allow the Coconuts to win. So when players lose and teams lose, guys, they are legit mad because they're competitors at the end of the day. But it's such a unique place where, I could do a walk-up song or an imitation of T.I. on the way to the plate. And if I strike out, I may look like a jerk, but I'm still mad about that. But you still have fun. And I think it's the unique balance. So yes, guys, no WWE predetermined finishes here. It's not the Harlem Globetrotters because as much as I love the Globetrotters, they will beat the Washington Generals 100 times out of 100. We have no idea. We have no idea who's going to win when the Party Animals and Savannah Bananas take the field.
Yeah, Rex, I'm excited about this upcoming season as we now have 6 teams with the Loco Beach Coconuts and the Indianapolis Clowns. That championship series, October 1st through the 4th at Grayson Stadium. I do want to talk about just marketing for the Savannah Banana World Tour, because now you got to include all 6 teams.
Yep.
Who does how are they able to watch it on TV? Who does the broadcast for them? Is there any familiar names, like the voice of the Savannah Bananas? Is it a familiar name that we might know?
You know what? I think we'll have, if you paid attention to the sport, guys like Biko Scala and Josh Talevsky, both both incredibly talented superstar kind of guys. If you listen to the Big 12, Big 12 podcasts out there, Drake Toll, he's a guy who does an overall Big 12 podcast for the Party Animals, and he's the voice of the Party Animals. And then you guys like Zach and Brett, who are voices of the. Brett is the voice of the Texas Tailgaters. Zach is the firefighters. AJ is a guy who's just signed on for the local Beach Coconuts. And Junaid is a guy who's the Indianapolis Clowns play-by-play guy. When it comes to marketing, guys, this place is a machine. You have one person per team channel, plus all of them can shoot, all of them can edit on great equipment. I come here and I'm like, I have a lot to learn. I had to basically unplug a lot of new stuff and just learn to have some fun and let my personality out a little bit. But even the guy I'm working with, his name is Sam Bauman. He used to be a morning anchor at WTOC. That's the CBS station here in Savannah, Georgia. And then got to give a big shout out to Natalie Sullivan as well. She helps a lot with behind the scenes and coordinating our media interviews. Everything that she used to work at a law firm and a Bloomberg network. She's super talented. So I know that the tools that I have to bring, but it really feels like, and maybe DJ can relate to this too. If you're the superstar at high school and you go to college, guess what? Everybody was a superstar in high school. So you got to step your game up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Rex Castillo is our guest this morning on the Sports Visions morning show. He's the former news anchor, sports director with WRBL right here in Columbus and TV3 News. And of course, he's now with the Savannah Bananas. Why don't we do this, Rex? Let's give you an opportunity to give us an executive summary of your duties and responsibilities as well as your title.
So official title, media relations. I like to think of it as a story hunter. There are so many incredible stories. I'm telling you guys, every last one of the cast members, the players, the coaches all have this amazing, amazing story that I get the opportunity to tell. Everyone and the organization is also in charge of kind of doing their own content as well, but I just bring a different flavor to it. And with the media relations part, I help players get ready for those interviews that we would love to get all the coverage as much as we can to every city that we go to. And everyone has been so wonderful. Everyone has been so nice. I'm meeting a lot of new people, but as good as these players are at the sport, I'm more impressed with how they are as human beings. One of the craziest things I've seen, if you've ever had a chance, just go online. Fisher Polydorov is a time-traveling baseball player, so he literally dresses up as if we're back in the 1910s and 20s. He's a songwriter. He speaks multiple languages. He plays 11 instruments. It's absolutely crazy. And then he shares the same field as a guy who won a Gold Glove in a World Series for the Boston Red Sox. What? I did not know this was going to be my life. This is absolutely crazy. And then you have primetime coaches. Shane Victorino is like a primetime coach for the Coconuts. And then Ryan Howard is a primetime coach for the Clowns. I'm just running into all these amazing people again, but they're better people as amazing baseball players as they are.
Rex, I know this is a work in progress for you as you get acclimated to the atmosphere, the experience. But what's a day in the life of you, Rex Castillo, with the Savannah Bananas?
Wake up, expect the unexpected, do everything the exact opposite of normal, try and keep my head above water, smile a lot, laugh a lot. No, but it is mostly let's figure out the strategies for what we need to do when it comes to telling the right stories. Pitch a bunch of stories. It's very similar in that, right? But also if they tell me no, but with this story, you don't have to do it super news wise. In fact, if it's constantly a piece that could go on the 6 o'clock news, they don't want it. So I got to dig into the creative bag a little bit more, be more imaginative, but also be ready to tell unique stories that everyone has. But of course, when we do something, my boss wears a yellow tuxedo, so expect the unexpected.
Rex, we do miss you here in Columbus, but now that you're in Savannah, I know that the majority of your time it's all about the Savannah Bananas. Mm-hmm. But do you have time to kind of pay attention to the local sports scene in Savannah, like the Ghost Pirates, some of those high schools like Jenkins and Benedictine? Do you still get that itch to kind of see what's going on in the Savannah sports world?
And that's when I turn into WSAV News 3 at Next Star Park. Check out what's going on.
I love it.
You know what? No, it's cool because a lot of us are just genuine sports fans. So we have to find that balance where be creative with what we do, but don't be too much Sports Center. And so, yeah, I've always I really enjoy checking out what's going on with, some of the local high schools. Jenkins and Benedictine were pair of the big beats that I covered when they were down here. But I also know that I have to give my energy and my time to where I'm at, be where your feet are, as head coach Kirby Smart says. But with the Ghost Pirates, a bunch of people went to the Ghost Pirates games a couple weeks ago, and I just couldn't make it because I had some other stuff going on. But it's just really cool to be in an environment like that. But I tell you, this sport, the fans that we have, it's going to be, I can't wait for Florida State. We've been doing a lot of these spring training games, these practice games with an empty stadium. But I tell you what, these spring practice games that we've been doing, just so everyone can get acclimated, it's dress rehearsals for everyone. The environment is crazy. The competitive juices are through the roof. So I can't wait to see what's going to be like when we finally pack stadiums with fans.
Rex, I'd love to know how you feel, and of course, you can definitely share that experience with us. Now that, of course, as a former news guy and being all buttoned up and having to be, a certain way and again professional, but it's a little bit more relaxed, to say the least, with your job now. Again, talk about some of the parallels and some of the similarities.
Parallels are that storytelling is still storytelling. Being able to recognize good stories is important. The differences are, of course, the runway I have for creativity. I knew that I was kind of a guy who liked to maybe sit on the line a little bit when it came to creativity. When it comes to a news world, like to push the envelope maybe a little too much. Here, they're like, yeah, no, we're going to take the envelope that you're pushing, and then we're going to put it 10,000 feet in the air, and then we're going to put a rocket ship on it, and then we're going to put it another 20,000 feet in the air. So it's really incredible to see the opportunities that I have here. And I think my ability, my work ethic has translated over really well. And I hope that, my bosses keep believing in me. It's just a matter of taking the opportunity to become 1% better every day.
What do you miss about being here in Columbus with WRBO?
The people. I think the studio is full of incredible people. I miss my close friends, the guys who became even groomsmen in my wedding, Jack Patterson, Drew Plata, those guys who I really, really were able to be very creative with. But just even co-anchors like Michelle, who's I know is doing an incredible job. I could go up and down the list of people. Tyler Redmond does an incredible job out there as well. So I do miss some of the people. Phil, Teresa, Chuck all became mentors to me. But even Bob Jeswald, the guy legitimately does not run out of juice, doesn't run out of battery. So I miss a lot of the people there.
Rex, I do want to switch gears just a little bit because I know you're a diehard Texas Longhorns fan, and that includes their basketball team. They got a big game against Georgia. Both are bubble teams, by the way. So, have you been following Texas basketball, and can they get back to the tournament?
Man, believing in Texas basketball is a exercise in your faith. I'll tell you that much. Texas basketball. I do what I can. I try as much as I can, but Georgia. Look, with the talent they have, especially with Dominique Wilkins' kid, it's really tough to count those boys out. I'm really happy for Georgia because I think even talking about it in our sports office and even with DJ, when you were that close to Atlanta, you need to be able to bring talent. I think Mike White's done an incredible job with that. Of course, Atlanta became Auburn East when Bruce Pearl was down there. But I'll be honest, I might have to give the nod to Georgia on that one because Texas basketball is so up and down. It's very, very difficult to follow. I'm already ready for next football season. Richard, I'll say that.
Rex, you know what? In parting, before I let you go, because I know you got a heck of a day in front of you, but, we were talking to Steve Holman, who is the voice of the Atlanta Hawks, and we were talking about travel and how their team and over the years have, they went from what used to be 30, 35 people. Now there's 80 people with, all the staff and everybody. But so I ask you this question: when the Savannah Bananas traveling, when they travel all over the country and in some cases all over the world, again, I know you hadn't been there long enough, but you probably understand what is that? Describe how did you guys travel? What does that look like? What does that travel party look like?
It's pretty amazing. I'll be honest. Along with all the staff, players, and cast members, you have support staff behind the scenes who help. You have showrunners, you have people who choreographers, performers, bands. It is an entire production. It really, really is. It's not cram it into the 2002 RAV4 and then try and make it to, Macon in time. It is, let's fly up to 100 people or more to certain destinations. And I have to give a huge shout out to our travel team because I was not allowed to book travel. You can ask Jack Patterson about that. I screwed up on hotel reservations, but our travel department, you just got to be honest with them, got to communicate with them well, but they set us up to make sure we're comfortable. And when you're on the road and you have a huge show in front of you, it's so important to have 4 walls around you, make sure you have a safe place, and sleep. The travel department is the MVP of this whole situation, but the travel is impressive. I won't lie. It's really great. We're not, we're lucky enough not to be traveling on Spirit Airlines everywhere, but we will. And it's a matter of just making sure our talent gets there safe and making sure our players get there safe and our staff gets there safe. And they do an incredible job taking care of us. I feel very blessed to be in this position.
Well, Rex, as you know, so many people love you here and around the Chattahoochee Valley, and I want to give you an opportunity, a few minutes, just to say whatever you want to say, because again, we love you and we miss you.
Appreciate y'all. No, I'm kidding. It's a matter of thank you so much for believing in me, for believing what we were trying to do there at WRBL. I was just a kid from Texas chasing a dream. I probably spoke too fast at times and had big dreams, just tried to lasso as much as I could. It didn't happen without an incredible support staff there at News 3 and the coaches and the parents and the players who trusted me with their stories. And then, of course, my wife, someone who was able to be patient with me, encouraged me when I was down, and also understood the grind as long as I, just got to communicate with her what I was doing. But I tell you, that woman is made of something special and was able to really embrace the life that I had at News 3 and then embrace the life that I'm doing now. I can't give her more flowers. I probably should get her more flowers by the time I come home. But it has been what a chapter. Columbus was an accident that needed to happen, and I could not have been more thankful for my time with the Fountain City and for everything they were able to do for me.
Well, Rex, in your travels all over the world, when you're shouting out everybody, make sure you shout out the Sports Visions Morning Show, my friend.
Of course. Absolutely. Keep up the great work, guys.
All right. Have a great rest of your morning, my friend.
All right. You guys take care.
Take care. The great Sexy Rex. Yeah. I love it. He can use that name. He's with an entertainment company.
Yeah.
And on news and doing sports and hard news. Obviously, Sexy Rex was not going to be wasn't fitting on what him. It didn't fit that part. But now he's in the entertainment business. He could be Sexy Rex.
Yeah, obviously, we miss him here in Columbus.
Yeah,
and I
got
to know Rex, and I found out that he was also a former military broadcaster, and we had that connection. He was in the Texas Army National Guard as a combat correspondent, just like I was a combat correspondent, and so we shared that connection. And I appreciated when he was the sports director, and then when he switched over to news, he still had that itch to do sports. He called games for Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and he's having a lot of fun there. And I can't wait for this upcoming season for a Banana Ball World Tour. I was looking at the schedule. They're playing in the Superdome in New Orleans. I mean, some of these venues are selling out, so they got to move them into the bigger football stadiums to get more fans in there. It's incredible.
What I love most about Rex is that he's a brilliant young man, but you know what? He's inquisitive. He asks questions. He doesn't assume anything. And again, he'll pick up the phone if he knows you and he knows that you care. He will ask you your opinion or what do you think about this? Or and that's what successful people do. That's what you don't think you're the smartest guy in the room, even though you could be. But he's not afraid to reach out again to people that are in it, whatever he's trying to find out or pursue. He is not afraid to pick up that phone, and more of our kids today need to do that.
Exactly, and his work ethic carried over from WRBL to the Savannah Bananas, and he is learning everything he can, but he's also ready to use his creativity, hit the ground running, and just help make that organization better. Just with his creativity and personality, it's a great fit.
It's a great fit. Now, you know what a lot of people really don't understand is that, like I said, I'm glad that we went there with the Harlem Globetrotters as well as the WWE and all of that, make-believe stuff. Then this is the real deal. These kids are real athletes. These guys, have made it to the height. Some Division I players, some guys have been drafted. Some guys have played in the professional level, played in minor leagues. This is a real deal.
Yeah, and they're going to put on a show, but they want to win. There are 6 teams now, and they're going to be playing for the Banana Ball World Tour Championship in October. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to watch them on like ESPN or wherever they're going to be televised, because that's probably going to be the only chance I'm going to get to see Banana Ball because, these places are just selling out. I know they're going to be at Truett's Park in like May 10th, I believe. I'm sure the tickets are already sold out.
I love everything about it. The guy who thought of this, I mean, he's a genius. I mean, again, who would ever thought that baseball could be that entertaining?
Yeah, the guy with the top hat that wears all yellow. Yeah, what a great guy. And I know that Rex had that relationship when he was over there at WSAV, and I'm glad that he's a part of that. And it's a phenomenon is international now. I'm sure they're going to have overseas Banana Ball World Tour in the future. And so if they haven't done it already.
Think about this skill set. It's hard enough to play baseball. It's hard enough to field a ground ball or to catch a high fly ball or a line drive, but to do it and with tricks, with flips and acrobatics and tumbling. And I mean, this is next level athletic stuff.
Yeah, there are baseball players right now in Little League that are saying, I want to go play for the Savannah Bananas. I'm going to learn to do that stuff so I could play. This is like a huge deal. And they're still throwing 90 miles an hour. This is not like, it's going to be an easy pitch to hit. You've got to have just that athletic skill above and beyond your baseball skills.
And just think, this team not only has great baseball players and, of course, a whole excellent staff, but they have to have a DJ. They have to have a music guy.
Yes,
again, they
absolutely.
That music is definitely sets the mood.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And they still have, like, training staff. They still have, doctors because, people can get injured, but they're just having fun, and I can't wait. And I can't believe I missed it in 2022 when it came to Golden Park. And that I saw it on TV. That place was packed out, and I'm hoping that that could come in the future. But we'll just have to tune in and find out.
All right, let's go ahead and take another break. You are watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you are listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
She was a Jezebel, this Brixton queen, living a life. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show. Let's do this. Sports Visions 92.1.
J. Smith Lanier & Company is now Marsh & McLennan Agency. We remain a full-service insurance, retirement, and risk management firm specializing in employee benefits, commercial insurance, surety, and personal insurance. It's our business to be there for you in the moments that matter, as we have for over 150 years, protecting what and who matters most. Marsh & McLennan Agency is one of the largest insurance brokerages in the United States, offering high-touch service by trusted local insurance specialists. Located in Brookstone Center Office Park and online at marshmma.com.
Attorney advertising. Blake Swan, 4751 Best Road, College Park, Atlanta, Georgia. 921-200-7066. Paid actor dramatization. Top dog does not mean we are the best. No guarantees of success.
If you was a dog and you was hungry, what would you do to get food? What would you do? What if the food was accidents? Every accident, that's when you eat. What would you do? Would you market yourself? Make sure every accident call you? Would you put radio commercials on? Put it on TV with a crazy voice? Billboards, would you do that? Signs of buses, would you do that? If you was top dog and you was hungry, what would you do for some food? Would you bite somebody? Would you bite somebody? Any accident, you call the dog. You feed the dog. You call the dog. Life or death, big or small, top dog law.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the AHSAA and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game. So I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Georgia at highschoolofficials.com.
In Iraq, our truck hit a roadside bomb. I had about 16 surgeries on my hand so that I could regain function. And when I came home, I needed a new roof due to a storm. And my electrical was deemed unsafe. And I was about to lose homeowners insurance as well. I didn't really know where to go in order to get help. And so I applied for Operation Homefront Critical Financial Assistance Program. They've really been a blessing. Operation Homefront is the safety net. A lot of veterans, they fall through the cracks sometimes. And Operation Homefront, they catch us. It's been a blessing to us. It's a blessing to other veteran families. And it's good to know that when we come home, there are people who are there that care about us and want to see us do well and want to see us succeed. And we feel it and we appreciate that. I would say you guys are angels behind closed doors.
Visit OperationHomefront.org to learn more.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1. The only live and local sports morning show. It's the Sports Visions Morning Show with Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Famer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer on Sports Visions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. It's a great day for a great day. TGIF, Richards. I tell you what, thank God it's Friday, my friend.
Yeah, it's here. I can't wait for the weekend. Man, it just goes by so fast when you get in the studio and just talk sports 3 hours.
Absolutely.
It's incredible.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Rex Castillo. Of course, he is with media relations with the Savannah Bananas, man. I tell you, but what an incredible opportunity that Rex has to go from the ranks of the sports director here, as well as an anchor on the news desk at WRBL, to the entertainment business. And I tell you what, that wave with the Savannah Bananas, man, is heating up pretty quickly. It's almost like the flag football, thing that's taken the nation by storm. Man.
Yeah.
The Savannah Bananas are taking, the country by storm.
It has become a phenomenon. They now have 6 teams, and he is going to be busy just about every weekend as they start things off going down to Florida State's college baseball stadium, and then they're going to be playing at the football stadium. It's going to be incredible, and it's already sold out. Obviously, we expected that as the Banana Ball World Tour is finally here.
All right, we go from that baseball to our baseball. That's what I'm talking about, the Columbus Clingstones, and who better to get us started here, of course, the voice of the Columbus Clingstones, our friend Jack Johnson. Good morning and welcome back. How you doing?
Well, it's great to be back, DJ, and great to see both of you, Richard. Hope you're doing well. It's hard to believe it's almost here. We're just about a month and a few days away from getting the 2026 season started. And we're really looking forward to it, DJ. And it's nice because I think we have a little bit more of a foundation and an understanding of what exactly is in front of us this year rather than last, when everything was brand new. So this will be a good ride, I think.
April the 3rd is not too far away, but before we get into the heavy lifting and talking about the season, I got to find out how your off season went. I know you went back out west, but give us a little story about what did you do this off season?
Yeah, sure. So went back to Arizona. That's where I went to school. So the Arizona State area around Phoenix, and actually broadcasted some more baseball to start the off season in the Arizona Fall League. It's a very prestigious prospect league. So a few of our Columbus Clingstones were there, a few other members of the Braves organization, along with prospects from 29 other Major League Baseball teams, kind of gather around some Cactus League spring training sites and just play ball for about a month. And so that's what I got started with, and then took a short break, flew to Chicago, got engaged, about
Congratulations.
a week or so. Yeah, thank you very much. A week or so after the season wrapped up, to my beautiful fiance Amanda, and after we were done with fall league and some collegiate events, honestly, I just spent some time back home where I grew up in California with my family. My sister's now, younger sister has graduated college, so it was nice to have all four of us under one roof again. And obviously, you don't know how many more chances you can have in your life, especially with the age we're all at, to take advantage at times. So we certainly did. And then, it wasn't too long before we were looking ready to get back here into the Chattahoochee Valley, and had some conversations with a lot of, current Clingstones, former Clingstones, maybe future Clingstones, whether they would be players, staff, fans that gotten to know over the last year. Just the excitement level remains very high, and we certainly inside the walls of Synovus Park are ready to kick off another phenomenal season.
Jack, is there any former Clingstones or current Clingstones that are playing in this World Baseball Classic?
No. I would imagine 2029 World Baseball Classic, we're going to start seeing a bunch.
That's what I figured. I mean, because you got teams like Great Britain, Brazil. They're not all major league players. A lot of these players that are playing for their country are minor league players that are probably not going to see the majors.
Yeah. Just kind of depends on where your minor league players are from. And in the case of last year, we have a lot of players that are friends with or have probably played with members of the World Baseball Classic players that are currently on rosters. But no, none this year, but I definitely expect going forward we will see at least a few, if not quite a few more than that.
He is Jack Johnson, the voice of the Columbus Clingstones. And, we're glad to have you back. And I tell you, man, it seems like the offseason came and went really, really quickly. However, we are ready and excited because, again, obviously anybody that was able to experience a game, to get close to the stadium, they know that was a phenomenal start, first year. Again, looking for even more of a great year this year. But now that you actually know, of course, obviously a little bit how to navigate the town and feel a little bit better about the community, and everybody's now it can really be a big family. Columbus loves you guys, and I know you're gonna love them back.
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly there. We recently there was an awards show hosted by the Chamber called the Chatties, and the Clingstones were awarded Business of the Year. Which
wow. Nice.
We were up against some great businesses, some businesses that have contributed a lot to Columbus, to the Chattahoochee Valley over the decades. And so I think that was a great vote of confidence from the area in terms of the work that a lot of people, I'm a small part of that, DJ, but a lot of people did last year to establish a baseball team, a touching point for a lot of different events, a gathering point for residents in the area. And, for me personally, it's great to get back and to see familiar faces now. A lot of it last year, as we know, is just getting to know everyone, shaking a lot of hands, a lot of introductions, but, the continuation, furthering those relationships, that's what makes me really excited for this year.
Jack, as the voice of the Columbus Clingstones, and I know you've been here a few weeks, and obviously you won't have to go to work as far as game action until early April. What are some of your assignments? What are some of your duties? What do you have to do? What are your responsibilities at this point in time?
Yeah, so I think the first thing I'm most excited about, and I guess this isn't breaking news because it's on the website, but just for us, we've created a page on our team website that contains all of our media information, everything from credentials to all the game notes we pushed out last year, all 135. I think even more are contained in there. Every press release we've ever put out. Eventually, there will be a media guide to go with that. So as far as my job and handling team information, I don't think we've ever been in a stronger position. I would also argue that across the grand landscape of minor league baseball, we're probably in the 70th, 80th percentile, and that's only in year 2. So moving forward, how do we get, 90th percentile and eventually become the best in all of minor league baseball? That's certainly a goal of mine, and we've made massive steps in that direction. We've launched a podcast continuing all our pregame interviews. So now it's the pregame peach that's available on Spotify. It'll continue to be available wherever you get your podcast going forward. And a lot of great conversations with, players, staff, members of the Braves organization. And those conversations continue to get better, just like these conversations continue to get even better because there's a level of familiarity that increases as the season goes along, right? So that's also available. You can find that on that media information page on ColumbusClingstones.com or Clingstones.com. And then, we'll just keep going. We have interview requests here and there, DJ, but a lot of it is just making sure that we've got every I dotted, every T crossed before we start playing ball.
All right, Jack, year 1 was a huge success. Record attendance were shattered. Now that we're in year 2, that home opener is also going to be the season opener. What is it going to take just to get your average sports fan here in Columbus, not only to go out to Synovus Park, but to be invested in this team, root for the team, watch them on Bally, listen to you on 92.1, just talking to the average sports fan that wants to get behind the Clingstones and support this team, not just going to the home games?
Yeah, I think it's going to take a lot of what was established last year in terms of, first, I think to make anyone a fan, if they're local, the best possible way is to try to get someone out to a ball game, get them to experience the atmosphere, the energy, the communal nature of Synovus Park. And I think everybody that I spoke to was really impressed with the show that was put on, not just on the field, but surrounding it. And we're going to continue to make steps in those directions to enhance everything we possibly can, whether that be in-game entertainment, concessions, and we already made a lot of upgrades to what was formerly known as Golden Park, and now celebrating our 100th anniversary in the ballpark this year. So there will be some exciting things that come around with that as well. And, if you get someone to the ballpark, Richard, I think, that's when you can start mentioning, hey, we go on the road. If you want to follow the game, if you have a favorite player, he'll be playing in a week in Knoxville, Tennessee. I mean, you never want to force someone to spend their time some way that they don't want to. And so it has to be very organic, and you have to be ready with the answers to the questions that people might have about, if they want to be more engaged with the team as a fan as the season goes along. But I would also, I'd say that's a little different. I mean, certainly we're all invested in the team's success. We want to make the playoffs and we want to win a Southern League title. That's the stated goal from anyone who leads the team, anyone who's involved with the team. But the express goal of AA baseball is to get our players out of Columbus. And so I think the most exciting thing for me, for the Braves organization, and hopefully our fans is, if we have a very good, very talented player, it's not that they stay in Columbus for 5 years. It's that they move on and they eventually impact the Atlanta Braves or they impact another Major League Baseball team. And then collectively we get to say, well, we were a part of his, Hall of Fame story, like this ballpark has been for so many players over the years. And I think it will continue to be. So, that's another great selling point for me, at least on the baseball side. But certainly first and foremost, getting someone out to a ball game and making sure the fan experience is as high as it was last year and even higher this year.
Jack, as the voice of the Columbus Clingstone, you have a tremendous responsibility, and of course, your job as the voice. You have intimate relationships with fans that come to love the Clingstones again, especially on the road. And with that said, we got some Clingstones fans that were here last year, but we got a lot of new ones since you've had an opportunity to go home in the offseason and come back. So I would like for you, if you would, because they want to know who they're listening to, and they want to know who to entrust themselves with when they listen to these games. So give them some of your background that you think is important to let them know that obviously this is not your first rodeo.
Well, it's not, but I'm certainly learning new things every year, DJ. I guess I'll state it off. I guess like LeBron, when he announces after the NBA Finals, I'm Jack Johnson. I'm from San Jose, California, this is year 4 for me in the Braves organization. I graduated from Arizona State. I was number 2 broadcaster or an assistant broadcaster in Gwinnett with the AAA Gwinnett Stripers, affiliate of the Braves from 2023 to 24. Last year was everybody's first year, including mine in Columbus. So this is year 2 now. I've always wanted to be a professional sports broadcaster, and now I have been for almost half a decade. And so, you'll hear a lot of my voice. Love the stories. I think that's what draws me to this line of work is the ability to connect with people and the canvas that baseball broadcasting provides me to weave in those stories, weave in things that can tie in people to the game rather than just balls, strikes, outs, or innings. And so that's always been, the dream of mine. It's very fun to be able to live out my dream. This is a phenomenal place and a phenomenal location in terms of our ballpark and the organization and the way things have coalesced, at least in my career, DJ and Richard, to be able to pursue it. And so, here we are again for year 2. And I know people enjoyed listening last year, or at least hope they did. And, this team will continue to grow, and I hope more people continue to listen and be involved in Columbus Clingstones baseball.
Jack, in about a month, you are going to be so busy from April to September, but the Clingstones don't play on Mondays. So I've got to ask you, what do you do with your Mondays? Is this kind of a reset day where you're relaxing? Or if you have a game where you're traveling down to Pensacola on Tuesday, do you have to leave Monday? I know because you travel with the team. What does your day off look like?
Yeah, sometimes if it's a longer trip, we will travel on Monday. And so your time off will kind of be the drive and then the evening before. That's the case in places like a Knoxville, maybe a Biloxi, Mississippi, just if drives are around the 5-6 hour mark. We're fortunate in the Southern League. There's really nothing that is crazy far from us in terms of an 8 or 9 hour drive. It is in other leagues around the country, so we get fortunate there. But yeah, for Mondays, it's a lot of reset, taking care of whatever you certainly don't have time to take care of, personal stuff throughout the week when the team is in town, especially with home games, because the days are very long, and getting ready to put on another great show and doing that 6 times in a row throughout the week. So Mondays, if there's time, you might go to the driving range and just kind of decompress a little bit, certainly with how, I guess, mentally taxing the job can be. Certainly because you're using a lot of brain power as a broadcaster throughout the day, especially when you're on the air solo for 3 hours. You just need to find a way to let your brain cells breathe a little bit. So that's the best way that I've found. And then, you get ready for the next series. Get prepared to face your opponent. Make sure that all the requisite information is delivered to where it needs to be. And make sure you get packed and ready to go if we're going on the road, or, get settled in and get ready to fire off 6 straight home games back here in Columbus. So it's a long season. Everyone will tell you it's a grind, and they're not, just saying that to say it. It certainly is a grind, but it's something that I really enjoy and excited to take part in once again.
Jack, before we let you go, I want to let everybody know what, if they want to get tickets, if they want to find out what promotional opportunities they'll have this year, if they want to get group rates, give them the information on how they can get all of that so that they can get back and, of course, be a part of this wonderful experience in year 2.
Yeah, I plugged our website with our own media information. I think a lot of that's going to be really valuable for people like yourself, DJ, just to check out. I think it'll be very cool for fans to look at and interact with. But, the fundamental purpose of our website is to be able to direct fans in the direction that they need to go. So group rates, single game tickets, season tickets, new ballpark spaces, things like that. I mean, that's all going to be featured on our website. And there are a lot of people that, you guys have actually had on your show and have yet to have on your show that do a great job updating, maintaining that website. And so, yeah, we are super excited. I don't know who you've talked to. I don't know if you talked to Pete or if you talked to, you guys did such a good job covering this team. And I got to give you your flowers. And this is just an aside from your question of, not just talking to me or a manager or someone, but you would take time out of your day and put on your show, that Brendan Seaver, who's the director of grounds. You had talked to Scott Peretti, who was our director of ticket sales in year 1. And these are probably people that, I love them. They are good friends of mine, but probably aren't getting featured on many morning shows in minor league baseball markets across America. And you guys took the time out of your day to put on your show those people, their stories. You talked to Pete Lavin several times, and we certainly value that. So, like I said, we want people to have a great experience here. All the information is going to be included online. That would probably be the best place to look. I would also follow the Clingstones on social media at Go Clingstones. But yeah, just stating this for me personally, we're super excited to continue our partnership with Sportsvisions, with PNB Broadcasting. You guys were great to us last year, and we certainly hope we can deliver again in year 2 and continue this partnership.
Jack, we appreciate the kind words, my friend, but you have a great rest of your morning. Take care.
I appreciate it. Take care, guys.
See you, Jack. The voice of the Clingstones, Jack Johnson.
Yeah, cannot wait for that season opener and the home opener on April the 3rd. And I'm not going to be able to make it out to the ballpark every day. I love listening to Jack Johnson on 92.1. It's just great that baseball's finally here, and we got Clingstones in year 2.
Absolutely. Hey, we're going to go ahead and take a short break. Hey, coming up, don't let it bite. Got to let everybody know. Come close. Jerome Boom Bechard is coming up next. He'll be here. That's right. The Hall of Famer himself. He is also the head coach for the Columbus River Dragons. All you old Cottonmouth fans, come on out. We love talking to Boom, man.
Love it.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back after these messages.
If it's local, it's on the Sports Visions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Good morning. I'm Tiffany Maddox with a look at this morning's headlines. A man that prosecutors described as the shooter for the Crips was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 150 years. 33-year-old Control Rogers was sentenced for the murder of Alex Bales Davis, who was killed in a criminal street gang shooting at the Spiderweb on Buena Vista Road in 2020. Testimony says the shooting was part of an ongoing gang war between the Crips and another gang called Driven by Hustle. And suspects Michael Green and Dante Bundage have been arrested and charged with arson tied to 2 separate daycare fires in Opelika. One fire took place January 13th at By His Grace Daycare, while the other occurred on January 19th at Children's Place. The 2 suspects are awaiting bond hearings. And President Donald Trump visiting Rome, Georgia Thursday, endorsing Clay Fuller to succeed former representative and former Trump ally Marjorie Taylor Greene for next month's congressional election. From WRBL News 3, I'm Tiffany Maddox. Make it a great day.
Good Friday morning. We were off to a humid start with temperatures near 70 and a few light showers. Showers and a few storms possible later this morning and into the afternoon. Those highs reaching the upper 70s today. Tonight, cloudy and humid, lows near 60. For Saturday, showers and storms in the afternoon. A few of those could be strong to severe as the system pushes through the region. Highs in the mid 70s. Breezy and cooler for Sunday and into early next week.
To get the full story, visit sportsvisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. Sportsvisions 92.1.
J. Smith Lanier and Company is now Marsh & McLennan Agency. We remain a full-service insurance, retirement, and risk management firm specializing in employee benefits, commercial insurance, surety, and personal insurance. It's our business to be there for you in the moments that matter, as we have for over 150 years, protecting what and who matters most. Marsh & McLennan Agency is one of the largest insurance brokerages in the United States, offering high-touch service by trusted local insurance specialists. Located in Brookstone Center Office Park and online at marshmma.com.
Even though I'm away at college, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Attorney advertising. Lake Swan, 4751 Best Road, College Park, Atlanta, Georgia. 921-200-7066. Paid actor dramatization. Top dogs does not mean we are the best. No guarantees of success.
If you was a dog and you was hungry, what would you do to get food? What would you do? What if the food was accidents? Every accident, that's when you eat. What would you do? Would you market yourself? Make sure every accident call you? Would you put radio commercials on? Put it on TV? With a crazy voice? Billboards? Would you do that? Signs of buses? Would you do that? If you was top dog and you was hungry, what would you do for some food? Would you bite somebody? Would you bite somebody? Any accident, you call the dog. You feed the dog. You call the dog. Life or death, big or small, Top Dog Law.
At Cartoons Car Stereo in Columbus, buy it today, get it installed today. That's right, same day installation. Cartoons, Rockford Fosgate products, stereo head units, amps, speakers, speaker boxes, alarms, remote starts, navigation units, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and so much more. Get same day installation today. Call or stop by today for details. Cartoons, Cartoons on Veterans Parkway in Columbus.
At Liberty Mutual, we love helping people with things like customizing car insurance, just like how we customize a song for you. Catered country tune. Liberty Mutual, saving you bucks by protecting your truck. Cause 30 told me to only pay for what I do. Thank you, Lee Moo. Always trusting me, Moo. With Liberty, 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 Liberty.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd, 12 to 3 on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Here's Carver Tigers legend DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Richard Holdridge in the building. Big shout out to, of course, all of our friends out there. Of course, Jack Johnson, just a tremendous interview there. Welcome back to town to the Columbus Clingstones. Also, Rex Castillo, the former WRBL sports director / news anchor, who's doing big things with the Savannah Bananas right now. I'll tell you what, folks, it could happen to you. You could definitely leave Columbus, Georgia, and experience the big time. And, of course, the Savannah Bananas has taken the baseball world by storm, and as far as adding entertainment and all kinds of acrobatic, feats to the game. And, again, it's great to have Rex checking in with us. Also, Leo Bechard, who, of course, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock down at the Columbus Convention and Trade Center will be the, of course, induction ceremony for the Columbus Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame. Speaking of Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame, let's go ahead and bring him up because he is a Hall of Famer himself. He's also one of the biggest names, and I get the pleasure of saying this because across all sports, football, baseball, basketball, golf, tennis, and including hockey in Columbus, Georgia, this guy is one of the biggest names that has hit this town in several decades. Jerome Boom Boom Bechard. Good morning. How you doing, my friend?
Thanks, DJ. Pretty good, fellas. How are you guys?
Wonderful, man. You got a different hairstyle than the last time I had you here.
Yeah, I had to clean up a little bit, look a little respectable, you know?
Absolutely. I tell you one thing that you've done. Again, I hadn't talked to you in maybe 3-4 weeks or so, but you guys have been one of the hottest teams in the league. I mean, you ran off 10 straight games here most recently. What's going on with the River Dragons?
Yeah, it's 11, Deej.
11.
Not that we want to talk about it. You know what? I mean, the whole process, you know what? It's been we kind of got rolling before Christmas, and then the guys went home for a little bit of a break and got fat and out of shape and forgot how to play. And then we got some injury bugs and all that stuff, and then it's taken us a little bit to get rolling. And you know what? It's all the little things. Guys are finding out again how to do the little things right, and we're scoring goals and getting good goaltending, and you know, it's been pretty to watch, you know, for the most part.
Coach, Ryan Hunter was your leading goal scorer. He got promoted up to the ECHL, but Tyler Barrow has come on as of late. He's your leading goal scorer. He leads the team in assists. He's got the most points. Talk about what makes Tyler Barrow a special player and why it's necessary that he just continues playing hot as you guys make a playoff run.
Yeah, you know what? We found a good combination with a line with you know, Tyler and Alex Storjahan and Cody Wickline, and they're just they're on the same wavelength. Their minds are melded together type thing. And you know, Tyler can skate. He's got great vision. He's got a really good shot. He doesn't shoot as much as he does pass. But I mean, yeah, I mean, he's rock and rolling. I talk to him a couple times. I talk to him quite frequently. He's probably he probably is one of the smartest players on the ice at all times. And offensively, he just sees it in a different aspect. Now I do tell him, I'm like, hey, on the defensive side, when he doesn't have the puck, like, again, he's one of the smartest guys and he tries to outthink where the puck's going. I'm like, you need to react and force people to do stuff as opposed to wait, because the other four guys on the ice are waiting to see what you're doing. And I don't want you to outthink the other team right now. I need you to react and push the pace and dictate where the puck should go. But yeah, offensively, he's just off the charts.
Boom, boom. With this, of course, the winning streak, have we seen an increase in the attendance down at the Civic Center? Are you getting the support that you want?
Oh yeah, no. Like, I mean, obviously, you know, you get out of the first part of the season where, you know, we're dealing with the SEC football and Friday night football and all that stuff, and now we're in the second half of the season, and the crowds have been really good. I mean, I think we're right at that 3,900 average, and we got a huge game on Saturday night. It should be a sellout. It's military appreciation night, so we should have some trainee troops here, and yeah, it'll be a special show, so it'll be a big one.
It's been a long season, and I know that health-wise, obviously, that's going to dictate how far you guys go. How are you holding up health-wise?
Well, you know what? Right now, I mean, we went through a little stint with injuries and then call-ups. Like you said, Ryan Hunter was up in South Carolina, and it was a good little stint for him to go up there and learn to play away from the puck. And he's going to score his goals down here, that's for sure. And I think he's tightened up his defensive game as well. So right now, we got one guy. We got a couple guys on the IR. Mike Wynn, big stay-at-home defenseman that is fairly physical. That's a kind of missing piece of the puzzle, but we've been able to piece it together. And I got Scott Doherty back actually from the East Coast League as well. He's a 6'4", 6'5" guy, and he's been filling a hole back there as well.
Coach, right now you're currently in third place in the Continental Division, just 5 points back of the second place team, the Monroe Moccasins, which you play the PD Ice Cats this weekend, but next weekend you're going to be hosting Monroe. Talk about how important it is just to get ahead in these games and just to continue playing well, because there's a chance you might be able to catch. You actually control your own destiny if you're able to catch Monroe, because they've been playing well too. Just talk about how important it is just to get ahead in these big upcoming games, as it could determine where you sit in the Continental Division.
Yeah, you know what? I'd like to think we can catch those guys. I'm a realist. I'd like to think, we're playing really good hockey. We beat Athens the other night or the other afternoon on Wednesday up there. Monroe, we went down there early on the season, and we probably let 2 games slip away. And you know what? I'd like to think we can catch them. Caveat, they do have 4 games in hand on us. I think we're knocking at 39 or 40 games, and I think they're at 37 or 36. So, I'd like to think we can, but, realistically, they're playing probably the lower echelon teams the rest of the way. So, we're in charge of our own destiny. Either way, we're going to have to play one of the big teams anyways, Athens or Monroe, whether we finish in second or third. If we finish in second, we'll probably play Monroe. If we finish in third, we'll probably play Monroe, but we'll have the hammer as far as home ice advantage. So there is something to play for, and really it's just more so to show everybody that we can compete and don't worry about it. And again, I like being the underdog. I hate being the team to beat. I want everybody to think we're not a good team and we can't beat you, and just play a little rope-a-dope.
He is the face of hockey in the Chattahoochee Valley. His name is Jerome Boom Boom Bechard, and he just so happens to be the head coach of our hockey team, the Columbus, of course, River Dragons. I mentioned Chattahoochee Valley. Obviously, the Hall of Fame ceremony will be tomorrow morning, the newest induction class. And I know that you were inducted several years back. Will you have an opportunity to be there tomorrow?
You know what? It's what time is it? 11?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Unfortunately, we'll have our pregame skate on Saturday after tonight, and unfortunately, I will not be able to make it.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I'll let everybody know that you wished them well, and congratulations to the newest class. Now, with that said, you went in several years back. What's one of your most memorable thoughts when you got up to the mic to acknowledge the fans and being the newest member of the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame?
You know what? Good special moment. I think one of the special thing is it's great to be recognized and all that stuff. But really, I think having my two girls there and my wife there to enjoy it and see it. And, I don't know if they know that, back in the day, kind of a big deal.
Yeah. You were a damn big deal. Yeah.
You know what? I like to just think that it's nice to be recognized to just do your job well. And you know what? I'm going to do that no matter if there's recognition or not. And that's kind of what I'd like to think that's what I brought to the table no matter what. My whole career was never about me. It was always about, allowing the other players to play their game and me giving them the room to do that. So, and that's kind of what I try to instill on my guys now. It's like, hey, you know what? You are the goal scorer. You are this and that. But you know what? You don't win if we don't have guys protecting you and giving you the space to do what you need to do.
Coach, with the Winter Olympics going on, we got the semifinals in hockey. I think it's going to be the gold medal match on Sunday between the United States and Canada. Who do you root for? Do you follow the Winter Olympics in hockey? You're from Canada, but you live in the United States.
Well, let's back up a little bit. Yesterday with the women's,
women's
game. Oh
exactly.
my God! Yeah.
What a game!
You know what?
I'm guessing you went to Canada.
Yeah, I was rooting for Canada all the way for sure. But you know what? What a game! Just entertaining as heck, and not a fun way to lose that. They had it in their grasp. The U.S. scores a late goal to tie it up with the goalie pulled, and I don't know who the Canadian girl was, but I just had visions of me blocking a shot right there and eating it and all that stuff, and she didn't, and it went in, and then that the 3-on-3, anything can happen, and obviously the U.S. won, but yeah, you know what? I mean, the matchup between U.S. and Canada, that's what everybody's been waiting for. With what happened last year in the Four Nations series with the 5-on-5 brawl. You know what? I mean, it's kind of funny because you know what? They all play with each other and they're all somewhat teammates, kind of, or whatever. But on that stage, there's no blood loss there, and it's all battle. So. I'd like to think Canada can pull it off, but you know what? If you look at what's going on, what went on to get there, all the games have been pretty close. Canada went into overtime against who was it, Czechia, I think, or the Czechs, and same thing with the U.S. They've all been close, and everything is so close there, and it's just who's going to make that big save and who's going to get that big goal at the right time.
Boom, boom. Are there any player promotions or any promotions with the organization that you're doing that you want the community to know about coming up?
Well, I don't know if you saw anything yesterday. On Saturday night, we got a former NHL player coming in as a celebrity player on Saturday night.
Nice.
George Laraque. He's a 6'4", 6'5" heavyweight NHL guy. When he comes into the locker room on Saturday, I'm gonna just say, Mr. Laraque, how much ice time would you like, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. And just see what it goes. But now it'll be interesting to see. And I don't know if anybody in Columbus knows who George Laraque was, but yeah, he's can definitely handle himself, and one of the better enforcers in the league back in the 90s and 2000s.
My final question before I let you get on about your business, man, is that I've always wanted to ask you this, but I got to ask you, man, and don't be embarrassed. And I know, but you probably have saved a small fortune, because I don't think you've ever had to pay for a meal or a drink in Columbus, Georgia in the last 25 plus years that you've been in Columbus, Georgia.
You know what? The community's treated me well, that's for sure. It's kind of funny. Like you go out, you meet people, and people recognize you and all that stuff. And you know what? If never expect it. If it happens, that's great. And you know what? The Columbus has been so kind to me, and I can't thank everybody, the fans, the people that have made this home for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Jerome Boom Boom Bechard. Hey, man, thank you so much, and have a great rest of your morning.
You bet. Thanks, fellas.
All right.
See you, Coach.
That's a classic guy, man.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, he is I guarantee you, he's probably a small fortune. That's at a minimum, because again, I'm sure that he never gets a tab or never gets. Man, let me tell you.
That's what I figured.
But that's what you do when that's what happened to legends, man. I mean, this guy, hockey legend in a football town. Can you imagine?
Imagine.
All right. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take our final break of the day. You are watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sportsvisions 921. This is the Sportsvisions Morning Show.
Floors in the new apartment, couture from the store's departments. You more like.
Stay tuned. More local and national sports coverage next on the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Sportsvisions 92.1.
Damaging an underground utility can cause a lot more problems than you think. by causing a potentially avoidable damage to underground utilities, there's many scenarios that do not end well. To keep the gas, power, water, and internet running, using 811 to have your underground utilities marked is a critical piece of the damage prevention process, whether you're a homeowner or an excavator. It's free, it's simple, and it's the law. Visit al811.com for more information.
What I remember most is the loneliness I felt, the separation from other people. At the end, drinking was no fun for me. Since I've started to attend AA meetings, the greatest gift is that I've become reconnected. I'm part of life again. I really like myself, and that's wonderful. AA is a miracle in my life.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a meeting near you.
In 2017, our daughter remarkably sang her way to the finals of America's Got Talent.
But the real miracle is that she even made it to the stage. When she was 4, she survived sepsis.
When it comes to sepsis, remember, it's about time. Watch for T, temperature that's abnormal. I, signs of an infection. M, mental decline. E, feeling extremely ill.
Take the time now to learn more at sepsis.org.
Joey from Vermont, a farmer trying to get through the winter. Adriana from South Carolina, a single mother living paycheck to paycheck. Liam from Ohio, an injured father struggling to provide for his family. Hi, I'm Shanola Hampton, and I support the Feeding America network of food banks because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Your home for the Dan Patrick Show, 9 to 12 on Sportsvisions 92.1. Now back to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Here's former Green Bay Packer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Good Friday morning and welcome back to the final edition of the Sportsvisions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Richard Holdridge in the building. Big shout out to Bobby Brown listening out there this morning. Stanley Crowell, we appreciate you. Hey, Debbie, good morning. David Boyd, our guy, he is the man. And Farrell Bowman listening all the way down in South Florida. We appreciate you. We definitely don't take you for granted. And thank you for tuning in to the Sportsvisions Morning Show this morning. Richard, I know we had some local baseball action underway.
Yes, last night it was the home opener for Russell County, and it was also the season opener for Calvary Christian. Mike Frost was on the call at Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I was there producing, and Russell County ended up winning it in the 9th inning. By the way, they only play 7 innings in high school baseball, so they had to go to extra innings. Russell County wins it in walk-off fashion. They took an early 3-0 lead in that first inning, but Calvary held their own. They tied it. They got a young team, but they got a lot of talent. And I just want to give a special shout out to my guy. Actually, first time I ran into him in over a year was Michael Long Jr., who was the assistant coach for Russell County under Coach Danny Danielson. He is the first base coach. And obviously, we know he's got a great family, and he's down at Russell County. And it was great just to chop it up with him. He actually has been on some games on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. He was my color guy during football season. So just appreciated running into him. And it's been a while since I talked to him.
Absolutely. And of course, in addition to, of course, what's going on here locally, you're going to be getting on the road a little bit later today. You and I are going to go down and have some breakfast and to kind of chop it up a little bit. But you got some responsibilities. You got an assignment actually at noon today, right? I do. Well, I'm probably going to leave here around noon, but I got to be at First Presbyterian Day in Macon for that 3:30 game for GIAA.TV. It will be the 3A classification. It's going to be girls today. Tomorrow, I will call 2 games for the single A classification. That's going to be over at Tatnall. Actually, that first game I'm doing is Thomas Jefferson and LaGrange Academy on Saturday. And then I got to beat feet, head back to Columbus because I got daddy-daughter dance that's going to be at Glenwood tomorrow night. So a busy week. And then we also have CVCC softball on Sunday, so it just continues. Yeah, you would think Sunday would be our day off, but no, we keep grinding at Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We got a softball game to do on Sunday, and then we're ready to do it all over again on Monday. Out of all of that stuff you said you got to do, man, I tell you what, I love that you're going to support your daughter at the daddy-daughter dance, and I know that you and your daughter are going to get on the floor and and shine the light, man. Again, you have a dance? You get a chance to dance with her, right?
Yeah, but it's mainly just slow dancing.
No!
They
got a special. They got a new request in. They got a slow dance and a fast dance. As a matter of fact, T.I.'s new song. I don't know if you've heard it yet, but that's what I understand. I heard through the grapevine that they're gonna actually play that and then ask all the dads to come up and dance with their daughter.
I mean, there are certain songs that I could dance to. Maybe "Flex" by Cupid or the Harlem Shake. if they bring out the Harlem Shake and you see these guys like looks like there's like their bodies like completely shaking, like there's like something in it, like got to get out.
Richard, I know you can dance though, can't you?
A little bit.
Oh yeah, I mean you got those quick feet. I've seen you do your thing. I mean I've seen you on the hoop court.
Quick on my feet. Yeah. And I could play basketball too. I don't know that one-on-one matchup with Thrift. I know that he'd probably
man. I got to sell tickets for that. No,
we got to live stream that on Joy because I can play, but Thrift was the one who played high school basketball. He's obviously better than me, but I'm competitive, so
he should beat you like a drum. But again, you know what? Everybody's expecting him to win, so you can't lose.
The underdog. I'm telling you, got to believe in the underdog.
Yeah, we'll work on that. But just been a great show today, man. Still a few minutes here left, but I want to kind of recap again what we were able to talk about. Obviously, having Leo Bechard on, and of course, he is the executive director for the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame. I'll be in attendance in the morning at 10 o'clock down at the Columbus Convention and Trade Center. They'll have a wonderful breakfast. Looking forward to not only the 5 inductees going in, but also the student athletes that they have an opportunity to honor as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a great event. I won't be able to make it. I've been to the last 2. It's been a lot of fun. I enjoy that introduction video that Phil Scoggins does. It's just a snapshot of their career, and there's great pictures from the past, and then they get up and they give their Hall of Fame speech, and the food's always great. I love their little breakfast bar that they have, and just to reminisce, to go back into the time capsule, to talk to former members of the Chattahoochee Valley that got inducted years back, and all coming together at the Columbus Convention and Trade Center. I know it's going to be just a great moment for the 5 that's getting in for this class.
Big ups to our friend Rex Castillo. He was obviously spent time here in town, several years working at WRBL. We came to like him and love him as he was, of course, an integral part of our sports community. And, again, we get just so happy that he's having the opportunity. He's living his dream.
Absolutely. Always great just to chop it up with Rex. We appreciate everything that he has done here in Columbus, whether it was news, sports, but he is finally doing what he loves. And it's great that he's able to take this Savannah Banana World Tour thing and just run with it, because this is starting to become a phenomenon. It already is.
And we had Jack Johnson on, who is the voice of the Columbus Clingstones. So when you hear that voice on Sportsvisions 92.1, you know we're getting close to the, of course, baseball season with the Columbus Clingstones. Looking forward to year 2, man. I mean, year 1 blew it out of the water. I mean, I know, and I have no doubt that they're going to do even better this year.
Yeah, I was glad that we were able to catch up with Jack Johnson. It was great having him on last season in year 1, and a great partnership with the Columbus Clingstones and Sportsvisions 92.1. It was a perfect marriage. It was great that Jack Johnson was able to come on and just get us fired up for this upcoming baseball season in year 2 for the Clingstones.
And what can we say about our hockey team, the Columbus River Dragons? 11 straight games they ran off. I know when we had Jerome on maybe a month and a half ago, they weren't playing so well, but he said that they were fat and out of shape, and they needed to work. But yes, I guarantee you he gave it to them. He gave them the work, because to win 11 straight games in this league, the Continental League,
yes,
that's not easy to do.
They are the hottest team in the FPHL, and right now you want to play your best hockey going into the playoffs. And at this point, they're in 3rd place. It doesn't really matter home ice. If you're playing hot, you can win away from the Civic Center. You can win at the Civic Center. We just want to see the River Dragons do good, because they've had some playoff stretches the last couple of years where it seems like Carolina, which is now called the Tri-City Thunderbirds, they kind of been a thorn in their side. They've had some early playoff exits, but they're hoping to get a deep run in the FPHL playoffs this year.
Last but not least, we want to thank our guy Thrift Barringer, who's down in Bacon on an assignment where you're headed down there real soon. You guys got some games to call, but he checked in, and we had an opportunity. He let you know how he really felt about the all region team and how and how it went about, because hell, y'all, to be quite honest, y'all catch hell about your rankings, and again, I love it when you can give it right back.
Yeah, and I do want to speak on behalf of Thrift, because I'm sure that he was proud of the effort that Georgia Alabama Sports Live did yesterday, and he left for Macon, so he was not a part of any of the broadcasts. He just was overseeing just to make sure everything was smooth. We had 6 games. We called 6 games, and Thrift was actually on the road in Macon, so I know that he has got to be proud, and I know that it takes a team effort, and we were able to pull it off. In fact, I set up one guy at Glenwood with my equipment, and then I piecemealed half of my equipment to Russell County, and I want to thank Brad Beasley for allowing us to use some of their equipment. But yeah, we made it work. We had all the producers we could, and it was a team effort, and I know he's got to be proud.
Let me just say this, Richard. Teamwork makes the dream work. And, of course, Thrift and that whole team you guys have, obviously, Thrift doesn't need to be overseeing you guys. I mean, you're the guy.
Yeah, we know what to do.
Yeah, so, again, it's not, it shouldn't be, anything to jump up and down about, because you guys were able to execute and do what you always have done.
Yeah, absolutely. And it continues to grow. We continue still having people that appreciate us, people that want to be part of our team. And I love the fact that we are coinciding with Middle Georgia Sports Live, and we're just one big family. And I can't wait to see everybody at the Macon for the GIAA.TV as well.
By the way, since you are, second in command or third in command, whatever you are on the totem pole, can you play more Sports Visions commercials and mention more promotional events that we're doing? Yeah, DJ, I try to mention Sports Visions on the broadcast as much as I can. I try to play that Sports Visions commercial between innings. Obviously, it's a great partnership when we have Georgia Alabama Sports Live coming on the Sports Visions Morning Show, talking about the games. Obviously, I'm going to make sure that the people that are watching us, that they listen to the Sports Visions Morning Show so they can get the recap of the games. And it's great that we're able to promote ourselves. Yeah.
And you guys with us here on Sports Visions, and then us promoting Sports Visions on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Yeah, Rich, because you got a cult following here. Every morning people get up just to listen to you.
Oh, man, I don't know about that.
Let your Georgia Alabama sports fans know that you and Thrift are here hanging out here, man, and I'm just kidding, man.
Yeah, I'm usually gone that first hour because I'm off to do daddy duties.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed. Hey, yeah, it's already, can you imagine? It's already at the end of the week.
It's here. I can't believe it. What's the deal?
Well, you hear the music, you know what that means. That's going to do it for this edition of the Sports Visions Morning Show. On behalf of Richard Holdridge, Thrift Barringer, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball.
You've been listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. This is Sports Visions 92.1.
Gotta get to Gill's Auto Sales. We can finance, you got to get to Gill's. Selection and price, got to get to Gill's. Gotta get to Gill's.
Happy 40th anniversary to Gill's Auto Sales. This will be a year-long celebration with inventory and deals like you haven't seen in a long time.